Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, home of smoke-free slots and the highest payout percentage in the area. Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. More spins, more wins, more fun. The Milwaukee Brewers, once again, the best team in Major League Baseball. And they salvage winning 3 of 7 on their West Coast road trip last week. After being swept by the San Diego Padres, things looked bleak, but the Brewers win 3 of 4 at Dodger Stadium against the dreaded Los Angeles Dodgers. 6-2 the final score on Sunday afternoon for the Brewers to finish off winning 3 of 4 against LA. And that means entering play today. The Brewers are off today, by the way. Milwaukee is 3 games up on the Dodgers for the number 1 seed in the National League. They are 2.5 games up on the Atlanta Braves for that top spot. Remember, the top 2 get a bye through the wild card round of the postseason. Meanwhile, in the NL Central, the Brewers 5 games up on the Chicago Cubs for the top spot in the division. Wilde and Tausch with Gary Ellerson is our cousin sub of the day. Starts now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com. 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Our very first guest in the history of Wilde and Tausch, which will be, I'm sure, a long and distinguished history.
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
Aaron Rodgers, give us an over-under on what number would you set for how many shows we do here?
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio at ESPN Madison.
I'm going to say daily 52 weeks a year. I'm going to say you do about 230.
And celebrating 10 great years on ESPN Wisconsin.
And then what happens?
No, then Tausch kind of bows out.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Good job.
The Monday edition. The Tucker Kraft. Yes, he is under contract. Yes, he's in line to multiply his current salary by 7-fold. And he's still taking part in 11-on-11 fully padded work. Is that a good idea? Edition. I cannot wait to see what Gary Ellerson has to say about Keisean Nixon. Because, boy, do Packers fans have a lot to say about him. Edition. And I know it's Monday, but Evan Cohen's scheduled to make an appearance. Edition of Wilde and Tausch. On 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, everything you need on the ESPN Wisconsin app, which is free, fully customizable, and can be found both in the Apple and Android app stores. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios, and these days the only time I see this guy is alongside Leroy Butler and Dennis Krause on the Spectrum News One roundtable, but today it's an extra treat. I get him as our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs, we believe in better. It is Badgers and Packers legend Gary Ellerson. Gary, good morning, buddy. How you doing?
Good morning, Jason. How are you?
I am great. I'm thrilled that you're here. As a former Packer and Badger, I can't wait to get to Jesse's viral take on the Badgers' upcoming matchup with Notre Dame. But before any of that, I do, the beauty of Spectrum cable is that when you haven't had your TV on for a while and you turn it on, the first channel that automatically comes on is not the last channel you were on. It's Spectrum News 1, and I see your smiling mug all the time, but I don't see you here lately. It's great to have you. How did Jesse twist your arm into doing this today?
Well, I don't think there was a arm twisting. I believe he asked, and I go, yeah, I think I can do that day. All right, let's get it done. I go, who's out, Jason or Mark? He goes, well, of course it's Mark.
I mean, it's August. Yeah, like it's going to be Tausch who's the one out. I'm glad.
Oh, is that what it is? August? Okay.
It's been a while since Gary's been able to fill in with us as a cousin sub of the day on this show. So I'm really looking forward to the next 3 hours. This is going to be a ton of fun. I'm glad that we all were able to make this work today.
As long as we're not playing the clip where Leroy says, I like the Tausch show. Is Wilde on it too? That was, as long as he avoids that line, I'll be happy. All right. I do want to get to Jesse's, clip first because I want to get to Evan Cohen on time. And I also want to get into at least a little bit of this, Keisean Nixon, crowdsourcing of dislike for him. So let's do this right away because I'm Jesse. I can't tell if you like going viral or hate going viral.
Well, normally I would say I like attention. It just comes down to what kind of attention you're getting in that sense. So, I mean,
and what does this fall? What category does this fall under?
Well, I'll tell you in a minute. Okay, first of all, I'm stalling for a minute because I wasn't fully ready to do this right away. Okay, so I filled in last week on the Jump Around, ESPN Madison's Badgers dedicated digital show, streaming on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, the ESPN Wisconsin app. And so Jim Rutledge was out last week. He was, like Tausch, summer sabbatical season for him too. So I filled in for Jim Rutledge, and I'm hosting the show with Riley Yauk, who's number one Badgers optimist, Riley Yauk, and Owen Dimple is the producer of the show. And as part of our conversation, as part of our rundown on that Thursday, we stumbled our way into what's your hot take for the Wisconsin football season. So it's kind of like, we do our bold-a-thon around here, where you say maybe a more outlandish prediction than you're used to sharing. You're, going out on a limb, really, throwing something out there that's going to turn some heads. And so it's in the spirit of the segment. Like Riley says, Eugene Hilton could be a 1,000-yard receiver. Like, oh, wow, okay, that's kind of crazy, but sure, we can talk about it. And in the scope of the conversation, it goes there. So then it's my turn, and I said something that I do believe.
This does not seem controversial at all. I don't understand how this happened.
All right. So without further ado, I was asked for my hot take for the 2026 Wisconsin
football season. You were asked specifically for a hot take.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
And this clip that was then shared on our social media platforms, which has closing in on 100,000 views nationally now. I don't know
internationally.
I don't know if it properly reflects what I actually think is going to happen this season, but this is my bold prediction for the Badgers season. Here it is for those who have not seen it. I don't want to necessarily say that Wisconsin is going to beat Notre Dame on September 6th at Lambeau Field.
Oh, he's not saying, but is he saying?
All Notre Dame, including Marcus Freeman, all they're being asked about all offseason is being left out of the playoff last year and how much they're looking forward to November hosting Miami and South Bend, because that's the team that got in instead of them and made it all the way to the championship and had a good chance against Indiana. That should have been Notre Dame. Notre Dame has new players coming in. They're not going to be fully acclimated. They're going to Lambeau Field, where Wisconsin pulled off an upset a decade ago against a top 5 ranked team in the country. If Wisconsin has these tricks up its sleeve, if Wisconsin looks as good as Riley and others are saying at practice, the best possible time to catch Notre Dame would be in week 1. National audience, one of the only games on Sunday night, a Labor Day weekend, standalone window. Wisconsin can beat Notre Dame. They can do it. They can do it.
You said they can beat Notre Dame, and you've gone viral for that?
Yeah, so, I said that, and I genuinely believe, if you're going to beat Notre Dame has been susceptible in September the last couple of years to bad losses. They lost to Miami in the opener last year, and that's what ended up keeping them out of the playoff. They lost to Northern Illinois in South Bend 2 years ago, one of the great upsets in college football history. If you're going to beat Notre Dame, it's starting the season, special game at Lambeau Field, nothing on tape for Wisconsin with this new look offense with quarterback Colton Joseph, Sun Belt Conference Player of the Year, ran for 1,000 yards, threw for a bunch more last season. It's a versatile, different looking offense than we're used to seeing. Luke Fickell might actually have QB1, knock on wood, playable for an entire game. That'd be nice. So if you're going to catch Notre Dame, this could be a chance to do it. Wisconsin can do it. Notre Dame fans caught this. The Notre Dame recruiting Twitter handle tweeted this clip. And
now, wait, it's not like their recruiting department. Someone follows their recruiting.
I don't know if it's some kind of
like a fan site that they're bringing in 4-star recruit Gary Ellerson for a visit kind of a thing.
The Twitter handle is Notre Dame Recruiting. I don't know if that's a legitimate, it's affiliated with the school, or if it's just some guy in his basement who runs this account. I don't know.
Okay.
But this Twitter account, which has a bunch of Notre Dame fans following it, have now seen this video, and I'm sitting, all I'm doing, Friday night, we get done with Wisconsin volleyball, exhibition match against Butler Friday evening. I go home, Becca's up north, I'm just going to sit on the couch, watch Brewers-Dodgers, eat a dish of ice cream, and have a wonderful time. And instead,
that ties into some of the responses.
My phone is blowing up with all these comments about, this stupid idiot in Madison thinks that Wisconsin's going to beat Notre Dame. And I've seen all these Notre Dame, you fool, don't you know Notre Dame has the most starters coming back of any team in college football? Oh, this guy's an idiot. Oh, because they won 10 years ago, they can win again this year. I'm seeing this, I don't even believe that they're going to win this game. And I'm getting all this heat and all this smoke from all these Notre Dame fans who are saying this guy's some dummy in Madison who thinks Wisconsin's going to beat Notre Dame. And now I'm going to be bulletin board material in South Bend when they're getting ready to come to Lambeau in a couple of weeks. I don't even believe that's going to happen. I think Wisconsin's going to cover 20.5 or whatever the spread is at this point, but I don't think they're going to win the game. But here I am, because I had to share a bold prediction, unscripted, unprompted, on the jump around last week, filling in for Rutledge. Now I got 100,000 views that say, Jesse Nelson thinks they're going to win. I don't know what to do about this.
You got.
And even worse, now the Wisconsin recruiting Twitter handle shared it. And now I got there's Badger Barstool. I don't know who Jesse Nelson is, but we need more people thinking like him. First of all, Badger Barstool Twitter account. I've been hosting ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day longer than your accounts existed, so I'm relevant, pal. Second,
just ask me.
I don't even believe that they're going to win the game. So don't start thinking like me, because this is just a hot take that I had to come up with off the cuff, a bold prediction for the season when I was filling in on a show I don't even host on a regular basis.
Gary, your thoughts?
Well, there it is. You stepped in it. Listen, I just want them to keep it close if they can. That's just where I'm at with it. I think Notre Dame was a really good football program. It's kind of puzzling, though. Didn't Marcus Freeman coach with Luke Fickell at Cincinnati?
He did.
At one point.
Uh-huh.
I think he was on that coaching staff, and then he leaves and goes to Notre Dame as a defensive coordinator. And I think some of those coaches that was on that staff in Cincinnati went with Marcus Freeman. And then you can see the split there where Notre Dame went one way. Then Luke Fickell, I believe, maybe a year or two later, comes to Wisconsin and then decides to do something else with the offense, and it just didn't work. I guess I'm making a parallel to how really Marcus Freeman has really kind of built up that program at Notre Dame, and how really Luke Fickell now has come here and we bottomed out, which I don't know if you look at Wisconsin from within or from outside looking in, whether Luke Fickell really had the support that he need at the beginning to make Wisconsin a winner like Marcus Freeman had at Notre Dame.
Well, Jesse certainly thinks they're going to be a winner. Just ask him and follow his Twitter trail of comments. So, Jesse, do you get bothered when people call you names? Because there were some mean-spirited things said about you.
There were some mean things. Thankfully, no, I don't.
Yes, you do. You're lying.
Actually, so I went up north on Saturday morning. I went and joined Becca and her friend, and there's some new neighbors. Scott and Kelly moved in next door. We got new neighbors up north. So turns out they're fans of the show and their sons. So this is pretty great. So I'm sitting there on the pier on Saturday reading some of the replies from the Notre Dame fans, including this one dude who said they should film this podcast at a certain blue-roofed custard establishment because the fat guy wearing size 7 Crocs thinks that. I'm like, first of all, I don't even own a pair of Crocs, and I'm a size 9.5. Thank you very much. So I'm reading some of the replies, and everyone was getting a good kick out of that between people on our pier.
But did they bless you at the end though?
No.
They did not. No. And then the Wisconsin fans are starting to get angry with me, and they're saying, "Well, let's keep it realistic. Let's manage our expectation." I'm like, "Yeah, no kidding. It was a bold prediction that was prompted, but no one got that part of the clip, and so it's a bold prediction. Could they beat? Yeah, they can beat Notre Dame." A lot of replies, lot of attention in the last 72 hours that I did not know I was going to be in store for. That was
even though you
unexpected.
Like attention.
That was unexpected. Generally. It was a little much. It was a little much for me. Got to admit. Yeah.
Well, a lot of attention being paid to Keisean Nixon. We'll talk about his current situation and how he is handling that coming up. We've also got Evan Cohen coming up. With Tausch out today, we have our cousin sub of the day, the great Gary Ellerson, here on Wilde and Tausch. More ahead, so stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Bringing summer gatherings to the next level is just another thing we do at Celebrations Entertainment. Hi, it's Jeffrey. With rental items like sound equipment, photo booths, and even yard games, you can make your event the party that everyone talks about. Any event like graduation parties, block parties, or even a backyard barbecue can be elevated with fun, interactive items to make everyone ask, "Hey, how'd you pull this off?" Just tell them celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right, and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything, from the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't believe in games. They never inflate pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. Buy direct through Pella, and one trusted team handles everything with Pella-certified installers every step of the way. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
What life events have you experienced over the past couple of years? Well, maybe one is coming up. The sale of a company, death, divorce, a health crisis, or helping to pay for college or a wedding. Well, Annex Wealth Management has assisted clients with life events, but planning for them can make all the difference. Knowing what you own, why you own it, and how much you're paying for it is a big part of smart financial planning. Annex has an entire in-house team that works together so you can make informed decisions when life events come up. Click Get Started at AnnexWealth.com.
Chevy is called the heartbeat of America for a reason, and Silverado keeps its rhythm. You feel it in the Turbo Max engine with best-in-class standard torque, an available Z71 off-road package that keeps you rolling when the road turns rough, and the most functional truck bed with best-in-class cargo space. They're trucks that work as hard as you do, so you can do more of what you love without missing a beat.
See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Based on latest competitive information, excludes other GM vehicles.
Hey, it's Molly Brown from Molly and Jim. I never thought I'd have to design a second wedding ring, but after losing my original, that's exactly where I found myself. And Jim at Condon Jewelers made the whole experience feel special instead of stressful. I got to sit down with Jim, talk through what I loved about my old ring, and actually be part of designing something that felt like me. And now I absolutely love my new ring. It's beautiful, it's personal, and there's a story behind it. If you're looking for something that feels completely your own, Jim at Condon Jewelers is the person I'd trust to help you create it.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Creating lasting impressions every season, every day. That's the Olson Toon landscaping difference. Since 1997, Olson Toon has been transforming outdoor spaces across Dane County. From landscaping and concrete to excavation and maintenance, they're your one team for everything outdoors, keeping your property looking its best year-round. With experienced professionals and a collaborative approach, every project is built around your vision. Ready to elevate your space? Let's get started. Head to olsontoon.com today.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Is our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs, we believe in better. I'm guessing that this is going to be something that might make the carbless talk and text line 844-770-3776. Carbless list is more light up like a proverbial Christmas tree. Now we've got Evan Cohen, who is hosting First Take tomorrow, or is on First Take tomorrow, or Get Up, or Jesse, what's he doing tomorrow?
He's been doing a lot of First Take lately, and that is the case again tomorrow. So this week and next week, we've moved Evan to Monday to accommodate his First Take schedule. Stephen A. 2.
Okay, I'll make sure that I DVR that. So he's going to join us, but I want to get into this Keisean Nixon situation because he spoke yesterday. There were several of us that were lingering around his locker, and he said, "I don't know why y'all are creeping. Let's get it over with." And look, we addressed a lot of things. I mean, I flat out asked him about the play at the goal line in the playoff game where he doesn't try to tackle DeAndre Swift at the goal line, and certainly the camera angle. And maybe the reality, because I never saw one from down the actual goal line, makes it look like he's turning down a tackle that he should have at least tried to make. I don't dispute that at all. Whether or not Swift was going to score anyway, I think he feels like that was going to be the case. But people are pissed about that play. And they remain pissed 8 months later. There was a play in the game in Pittsburgh where he and Keisean Oladapo can't make a tackle on the sideline. Again, poor optics. But Gary, I have to admit, I am taken aback. I understand not liking a player. I understand thinking that a guy's not any good, right? You're entitled to your opinion as a fan. But as I put it last night, the intensity of the vitriol that I see directed at him is more than I think I've ever seen. Like, I remember I was telling someone this morning. When I was a kid, Estes Hood, I don't know if you crossed over with him. I think his career ended before you started. Mm-hmm. But, like, he was the Packer that everybody complained. I remember my dad muttering about his coverage. Thank God you were a running back, because corners, man, you can have 50 good snaps, and if you have 3 bad ones, you suck. It's like playing tackle. But the level of anger directed toward him, and then he doesn't do himself any favors with some of the things he says. But I have not covered a player. I remember when Jarrett Bush was the nickel guy in 07, 08, before Tramon Williams took it over. And he had his struggles. He was a special teams guy that occasionally played on defense and probably should have. Also had an interception in the Super Bowl that helped them win a Super Bowl. But there was a lot of, but not to this level. And maybe it's intensified because of social media. But Gary, do you sense that? And do you feel anything close to that frustration yourself as an analyst and a Packer and a former Packer and a Packers fan when we talk about Keisean Nixon?
Well, there is a lot of vitriol surrounding him. Now, I saw that play on the goal line with Swift. And listen, he wasn't in a good football position to make a tackle. And he wasn't going to stop him from scoring a touchdown. That was going to happen. And it feels like a lot of the time, Keisean Nixon is not in a proper football position to make certain plays. And then I'm not saying that he take plays off, but it feels like when you watch him that he's kind of disconnected sometimes, and there are big plays happening. And I think that's what a lot of people see. And most of the time, they're big plays, monumental plays. But then there's some plays that he make that are big plays. And I don't think he gets enough credit. Here's a young man that has gone to the Pro Bowl twice at 2 different positions. Mm-hmm. And that's a rarity in the NFL. And I know a lot of people probably want him gone, but I just don't know how you replace him. And there's a little dust up right now with him. He's running with the 1s, the 2s, and 3s and all that. And maybe they're just trying to send a message. But for me, I just don't get it. He may not be the best cornerback in the league, but he is our cornerback. And I think Packer fans need to get behind him a little bit more.
He has, first of all, let's be clear on this, because I think this has gotten a little bit blown out of proportion in terms of how much time he's spent with the 2s. So he has been with the 1s almost the entire camp. There were 2 practices in which he spent 1 series with the 2s. Yesterday, when the 1s were out there, he was out there almost entirely, but there was a period or a series where they rotated him, St. Juice, and Cisse. So sometimes it was Nixon and Cisse, sometimes it was Nixon and St. Juice, and sometimes it was St. Juice and Cisse. I don't blame people for, because one of the first things he said in response to one of my questions was that he's being punished. I guess I'm being punished. That did not go over well with fans. And then when he was asked,
he shouldn't be running with the 2s. He shouldn't be running with the 2s. He's a Pro Bowl cornerback. They shouldn't, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So he deserves to be running with the 1s no matter what. If they want to change out Cisse and Juice and those guys should be rotating through, not him.
Well, I understand.
Would you do it to Alexander in his prime?
Well, and here's the real crux of the issue, and I want to get into this later after we talk to Evan. But one of the big things is, and Matt LaFleur said it again yesterday, about the importance of the corners tackling. Okay? I understand that. I understand that's something that Hafley needed. I understand that's something that Gannon relies on. But speaking of Jair, I always think about this, and Tausch and I have talked about it many, many times. They're playing the Steelers. He goes to tackle Najee Harris during the 2012 21 season, and he gets run over, just trucked, jacks up his shoulder, and let's be honest, he was never the same player again, right? He was a small corner who was willing to stick his nose in there after they drafted him, and up until that hit, he was as physical for a little guy as you could find. And after that, he looked like he had no interest in tackling. And so when your system requires corners to tackle, you hear it all the time, crack and replace, right? The idea of having your guys do that also comes with a measure of risk. You want physical guys, and how much are you willing to trade? I'm not saying that Keisean is in Jair's class as a cover guy, but when Jair was at the top of his game, he was one of the best cover guys in football. And sometimes it might be okay if you let the guys that are great at covering cover, because when they suffer an injury like he did, that was it for him. He was never the same. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, and a lot of people don't see these guys like you do and like we do, Jason, up close. How big you think Keisean Nixon is?
We are eye to eye when I talk to him. He's in slightly better shape than me, just a little. But
obviously,
but he is not a big dude. Like he's not. Those guys are not. Carrington Valentine's another one. He's a little taller than me, but he is. There's not a lot of meat on the bone there.
Right. You would say Keisean is probably smaller than Jair, frame-wise.
Right. Probably about the same. Yeah, I would say about the same.
Yeah, and I get what they're trying to do, but if you want to play that style of a defense, then the Packers need to be drafting bigger corners, if that's what they want to do. If they want real physical play from their corners, I think then they need to draft towards what they want to do defensively. I just think, Keisean Nixon, Jair, until he got hurt, those guys, that's not what they do. They're not meant for that. They're only going to hit a big running back coming on a sweep for so long until they break down. Their career won't last very long.
And maybe that's why they signed St. Juice. Maybe that's why they draft Cisse. Domani Jackson, who's been coming back from a core muscle surgery. He's a bigger guy. So maybe that is the way they're trending. Look, bottom line, Keisean Nixon isn't going to be on this team next year. I will be surprised if he's not on the team this year and they trade him or release him or whatever, but they're not bringing him back. They're rebuilding that position. They started in this draft. They're going to do some more of it when they got a bunch of picks next year. But for now, this is what they have to work with, and we'll see. Maybe things change through the course of the season, and maybe his tackling improves, but I just... and we'll get back into this and take your calls on him, because I want to hear why. I want to understand why the intensity is so great of the dislike of him. I get being unhappy with him. I get not liking him running his mouth. CB1 doesn't return kicks. I personally wouldn't have said that if I was him. But again, the intensity is a little bit surprising to me. And we'll get into that a little bit later. We got to talk to Evan Cohen. He's coming up next after I tell you about Gruber offices. And I say this all the time. Talk about being injured. I hope you're never injured. I hope you never have to make the call to Gruber offices. But if you have been, there's only one call to make, and that is to Gruber. 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666, Gruber offices. One call, that's all. And you know how involved they are in our communities, of course, as well. If you're at the State Fair and you stop by the milk house, you might have seen David and the team over there. They were pouring milk on Thursday. So, again, always involved in our communities, and, of course, a great partner of UW Athletics as well. More Wilde and Tausch with Gary Ellerson as our cousin sub of the day. Stick around.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut. Well, I've been telling you for a while now how much I love Pizza Hut, going back to the days when I was a kid participating in their legendary Book It program. Well, how's this for a throwback? Introducing Pizza Hut's Throwback Value Menu. Features their iconic personal pan pizza for just $3. And a medium, one-topping original stuffed crust pizza, just $10. Take a look for yourself to find more deals on 2-liter soda, breadsticks, and much, much more. You asked for it, so they delivered. It's the throwback value menu from Pizza Hut. Order online at pizzahut.com or download the Pizza Hut app to find more about this and a bunch of other great deals. The throwback value menu, only at Pizza Hut. And remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
ESPN Wisconsin celebrates Wilde and Tausch's 10-year anniversary, presented by Steinhoffels.
Our very first guest, Aaron Rodgers. Give us an over-under on what number would you set for how many shows we do together?
Daily, 52 weeks in a year. I'm going to say you do about 230.
Wilde and Tausch's 10th anniversary is also brought to you by Sendix, by Outdoor Living Unlimited, by Gruber Law Offices, by UW Credit Union, and by Events by Design.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking, the list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is Aaron Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited with my brother and business partner, Eric Brown. Siding Unlimited is Madison's choice for siding, windows, roofing, and doors.
Siding Unlimited delivers on expectations because our experience, integrity, and craftsmanship come through on every project.
For new siding, windows, roofing, and doors, call 608-220-0005 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
The Ford Summer Sales event is on now at Metro Ford of Madison. For a limited time, get a new 2026 Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend for just $27,972. Price includes $499 dock fee and all applicable rebates. Excludes tax, title, license, registration, dealer fees, and optional equipment. Price subject to prior sale and availability. See dealer for complete details. Offer is valid to qualified buyers and ends August 31st. So head to Metro Ford of Madison today. View full inventory at metrofordofmadison.com.
Mark Tauscher here, and if you know me, you know I love Wisconsin. That's why I'm a UW Credit Union member. Their team's been all about Wisconsin since 1931, and they love making banking easy for members. Whether it's with their convenient mobile app or with the great perks like early payday to get you paid sooner. Stop by any of their local branches or visit uwcu.org to join and become a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Surfside Iced Tea and Lemonade Plus Vodka is your go-to drink this golf season. It's light, refreshing, made with real vodka and zero bubbles. That's right, no carbonation. This spring, look out for the brand new half and half variety pack featuring flavors like raspberry iced tea and lemonade and blackberry iced tea and lemonade. No bubbles, no troubles. Cheers to hitting the fairway and cheers to Surfside. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
25 years ago, a generational Bucks team made an unforgettable run.
This is the place to be.
Light It Up, narrated by Jim Paschke, is the new season of the Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. This is the oral history of the 2000-2001 Milwaukee Bucks and their run to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Absolute bedlam here at the Bradley Center.
Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Evan Cohen on Wilde and Tausch is brought to you by Horicon Bank, serving their clients with faster decisions, smarter financing, and bankers who get your business. Horicon Bank, doing good for 130 years.
Joining us now on the Yuengling guest hotline. Yuengling, America's oldest brewery, 197 years old. Now finally in Wisconsin. DG Yuengling and Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly. Evan, I'm not sure. Am I supposed to introduce you as unsportsmanlike Evan Cohen or apparently as First Takes Evan Cohen on Wilde and Tausch?
Definitely not that second one. I'm thrilled to have filled in a bunch over the last month. It's been amazing. I would not say that I could stake claim for First Takes Evan Cohen, not to go third person, but to use your breakdown there. But I would say unsportsmanlike. Jason.
Okay.
I think it's fair, Jason. That's the fair one.
That's how I referred to you. I did put the parenthetical in there on First Take. But since you're here and since you're on the signature opinion show on the worldwide leader in sports, Jesse would like you to help him through his incredibly hot, smoking, searing take that the Badgers can beat Notre Dame on Labor Day weekend that has gotten him some unwanted attention on social media.
Hi, Evan.
Well, this is going to be interesting because I saw this. I saw a bunch of people, and this will be good because Jason, UW grad, check. Gary, UW legend and grad, check. Me, UW grad, check. So we are all in favor of this take. What I'm even more in favor of are all of the social media posts saying, "Who is Jesse Nelson?" But I like him because all the Badger people are all rooting for Jesse now to be right about this take. But go ahead, Jesse.
Yeah, so you have this grand national platform, and you get to host First Take all the time, Stephen A. 2.0, and I was just like you filling in for Stephen A. on First Take. I was filling in for Jim Rutledge on the Jump Around, ESPN Madison's Badgers dedicated digital show last week. Very similar, stages and platforms, and we were prompted to share a bold prediction for the coming season. That was not on the rundown going into the show. So I thought, what do I want to say here? Riley predicted a 1,000-yard receiving season for Eugene Hilton Jr. But good for him. I hope it comes to fruition. Probably not, but it's a bold prediction. And so I said, Wisconsin can beat Notre Dame. We played it earlier. I don't want to play it again. Obviously, we've all seen it and heard it now. The Wisconsin fans are latching onto it like, yeah, I don't know who this guy is, but he's grand. I've been hosting an ESPN Wisconsin College game day for 10 years now. That's fine. And then I've got the Notre Dame fans who are even more involved in their responses to the clip. And they're saying, who's this idiot from Madison? And that's the nicest thing a lot of them are saying. They're not very nice, the Notre Dame fans.
Right, okay.
And they're getting after this moron has no idea what he's talking about, even though they're the team that lost to Northern Illinois 2 years ago at home. They lost to Miami last year. That's...
I said that about you, too, but not about this take. Go ahead.
Right, so now... Thanks, appreciate that. So now I've got Wisconsin fans who are kind of rallying around something that I don't particularly believe because it was taken out of context a bit in the clip. And I've got Notre Dame fans who are angry at me for saying something that I don't really believe. And I don't know what the
proper... Any chance you could do a longer setup than this, Jesse? Is that possible? Can you get any longer setup than this?
Thanks, Evan.
What? I mean, I think I'm done with the conversation. This is a long... Jason Wilde's openings are shorter than this. My God. Gary Ellerson's runs for the Badgers and Packers are shorter than this. Jesse, get to the damn point.
From your national stage, how would you handle if this was a situation you were in or have been in before? I could use some help.
Yeah. So, a couple of things. First of all, is it the Bold-a-thon, the Take-a-thon? What's the Packers thing?
Yeah, the Bold-a-thon.
Yep,
the
coming
Bold-a-thon.
up. Couple of weeks.
When is that? Because I have one ready to go that I think is the boldest take in the history of the Bold-a-thon that I actually think I can reason with, that is so damn good that I think it'll break the show.
It'll be the Wednesday after Labor Day. That's when we typically do it.
Okay. All right. So... just that's a tease. Now, in terms of how to deal with this, do you believe what you said?
Not entirely, kind of.
Okay, well, there's your first problem. So,
well, wait, yes, I do believe they can beat Notre Dame.
You can't change it now.
I do believe they can beat Notre Dame. That is, yes, I do believe that.
No. See, this is the problem. You're sensitive about this, understandably so, because you're not 100% in belief of what you're saying. Like, one of the things I can tell you, I don't want to go too behind the scenes because it's not my show, obviously, but I am a fill-in, right? Let me rephrase. I have filled in. The First Take, people are like, oh, people make stuff up just to go against each other. That is not even remotely true. Seeing the inside out, it's just not. Everyone is asked a series of questions separately that you respond to, and then they see the responses. So, like, let's just say in this case, let's say Jesse put out the email to Jason and Gary and said, who wins Wisconsin, Notre Dame? And the two guys have opposite takes. They are more likely to then use that as a topic, but nobody's faking a take because no one knows what the other one is saying. So the reason I set it up that way is when I answer questions for First Take before the show, I'm always answering exactly how I feel, not worrying necessarily about how it's going to play on TV because I don't know what anyone else is saying. The problem you have here, and the reason you're sensitive from both parties, Jesse, is you don't actually believe what you're saying. That's the issue.
No. First of all, could you have had a longer setup for that answer? Thank you. Appreciate
that wasn't a setup. Wait a second.
It's an
Gary
actual
Ellison,
answer.
was that a setup or an answer? There's a big difference between a setup. Gary, please be the determining vote here.
Well, you're right. Jesse need to stand on something, and he's not. That's his problem.
No, here. All right, fellas.
Stand on it. Commit.
Put your name on it.
Notre Dame has been susceptible to September upsets, especially in recent memory. They lost at home in South Bend to Northern Illinois.
See, now you're trying to go around in circles here.
This is what I said in the
Right, with a former Badger running back coach, Thomas Hammock, I believe, as the head coach at the time in Northern Illinois.
Yes.
Okay.
So I believe Wisconsin can beat Notre Dame at Lambeau Field because the other thing I mentioned in the clip, 10 years ago, Wisconsin beat Leonard Fournette and 5th-ranked LSU as a heavy underdog at Lambeau Field. Let's run it back and do it all over again this year. If you're going to beat Notre Dame, this is the chance to do it. But I'm not. I never predicted they will do it. I'm saying the formula is there to do it. And the Notre Dame fans think that I'm picking their game to lose.
Here's the problem. Either way, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Either way, you've unintentionally messed up. I'll tell you why. Because if you're doing a bold take and you're just saying technically a team can beat another team, you messed up because that's not a bold take. Now, because it was labeled a bold take, as Gary said, you've got to stand on whatever the take is or don't give it in the first place.
He's right again. This is why I don't have bold takes. You don't have to worry about this sort of thing. Have you ever had anyone say, I don't know who this Evan Cohen guy is, but, and then depending on...
All the time. Every single, just to bring on First Take, everybody that's commenting on all the First Take social media, it's like, who the hell is this guy? You know? So, yeah, all the time. But there's a great clip that I love that I actually watched over and over and over again before I started 3 years ago at ESPN because I knew the level of quote-unquote fame and notoriety would be higher than it ever has been in my life, and that in order for me to be able to handle it, I have to mentally prepare myself for all of it. Tom Holland, who's an actor, played Spider-Man, and I don't know if he's the one who said it originally, but he said in the clip, he said, if you have a problem with me, text me. And if you don't have my number, you don't know me well enough to have a problem with me.
Ooh! That's so good!
Is it?
Yes!
Jason.
Yeah, yes.
I have your phone number, just to be clear.
I'm aware. I'm aware. That's great advice, though, Evan. I really like that. I don't know how many people that hate Keisean Nixon have his number, so maybe that's why he doesn't care about their opinions. But, Evan, in all your time, whether it's as a fan of the Heat...
Wait, hold on. Go there. Wait, go there for a second. So Gary can answer this. Gary, do you feel like most athletes in their prime, I don't mean now, like in their playing days, I don't mean now, as a broadcaster in your case, but most athletes, as they're in the moment, are built like everyday people, or do they just naturally have thicker skins because they got to that place?
I think they naturally have thicker skin because you know that you're going to be criticized all the time, but you can't listen to the outside noise. You got to have enough confidence in yourself, no matter what anybody else say, to tune all that stuff out. I am the best at my position. And that's what he's got to stand on. And I think you see a lot of athletes are that way. You can't let the outside noise. And also, it's much different than when I played, right? Because now you got social media and all that stuff, and it's all over the place, and it can come at you from so many different ways that you got to be able to tune that out. And you even got to have even more thicker skin than those guys used to back 20, 30 years ago.
How hard do you think it would be now for you? Like you if you had the social media, if you had the ability for people to complain about your Badgers team or your performance or the Packers teams that were struggling at times during that era, to put it lightly, how do you think you'd still have been able to handle it as well as you did? Because back then it was, if you weren't listening on the radio or some columnist wasn't taking a shot at you in the newspaper, you probably didn't know much about public opinion at all, right?
No, you didn't. I think a lot of guys these days, and I would say the teams themselves, have to try to insulate the players, give them some tools to work with and understand how to handle the outside noise. Mental health was not a big thing back when we played. We just dealt with whatever it was. But I think it's imperative that each team, the NFL, give these guys tools and resources to handle some of the outside noise. Because not everybody, a lot of guys are sensitive too, you know what I mean? And not everybody handle criticism the same way. And you can't coach a guy the same way you coach another guy. Some guys you can get on really hard, and some guys you can't. It's up to the coach to try to figure out how to get the best out of these guys. And I think in Keisean Nixon's case, I think right now he's being coached up. I think Matt LaFleur, those guys are sending a message that this is what they want him to do. And I thought, Jason, when you guys talked to him, I thought he handled that interview pretty good.
Yeah, I did too. Evan, when you think about players, can you think of players during your time, either as a host or as a fan, where you were like, gosh, I can't get over how much this fan base is down on this guy? Like how, because that's the thing with me. I understand frustration with his performance. I understand criticizing his performance. It's a big boy league. But the level of vitriol that he gets is what I think is beyond what I would expect, even for someone who has not played at a supremely high level, but has played pretty good football at various times during his time with the Packers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the moment right now thinking about this because we talked about this today on Unsportsmanlike. Like, I don't get how Jalen Hurts doesn't get universal praise from everyone about everything. Mm-hmm. Like, I literally don't know. Like, I don't think every Eagles fan loves him as a player. I don't think there's anything to not like in terms of, like, his representation of like, the QB1 for the Philadelphia Eagles. To me, he's a class act, stand-up guy. Like, I love Jalen Hurts. But I don't get the sense that everyone loves him. And that's one of those, like, God, imagine you had a quarterback who started, 5 years or whatever it is, been to the Super Bowl twice, had a winning record every single year, has the most unstoppable play in the history of the sport, and he's not universally loved by the fan base. Like, I don't get it.
And the social media team for his own team posts an interception of him on social media?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we could sit there and say, like, oh, that was about the defensive back. Like, sure, but you very clearly showed the quarterback.
Yeah, there's no... Yeah, it was not the backup quarterback that nobody knows that was throwing that ball. Evan Cohen joining us from Unsportsmanlike. All right, Evan, give us a preview of your first take appearances, and maybe this will be another opportunity to coach Jesse up. What's something that you've got a very authentic hot take about right now? What's in the sporting realm?
This is the thing. When you say authentic, like, I'm not actually insulted, but it is insulting.
No. That was a shot at Jesse. That wasn't a shot at you.
I know, and
that was a shot at Jesse.
But no, I'm aware. I'm aware because that's kind of disappointing to hear how this is playing out. Because I would have thought Jesse, as a Badger supporter, would have said, I believe in this team. Everything feels different since Sean Eichhorst showed up as the AD, and he's been phenomenal at just totally rallying the troops in a way that has not been done since Coach Alvarez.
Mm-hmm.
And Fickle has a much better approach this year than he's had the last 3 or 4 years, however long it's been. And that maybe Jesse believes in the quarterback, or maybe Jesse believes in something. And really, it was Jesse didn't prepare for a show, so just gave off a take that then went viral. That's kind of what's happening.
It is not. All of that stuff is true.
Whoa.
And Riley, I'm hosting the show with Riley. Riley's at practice every day, watching how they're going. Like, I watched the entire Big Ten Network, did an hour-long special. They made their trip to Madison. They were there. Everybody's saying it sounds like winning football is what Jake Butt, Big Ten Network analyst, said. Sounds like winning football. That got my juices excited. There's a lot of things that are positive about Wisconsin football, why they can beat Notre Dame. I'm not going to stand here and say that I think they're going to beat Notre Dame. I think they can beat Notre Dame. There's a blueprint to it. There's a difference between saying that and saying they will.
Let's hear how you phrase this differently. Okay, if the Dodgers and Brewers played in the NLCS, who's going to win?
The Dodgers.
The Dodgers. Okay, but the Brewers can beat them?
Absolutely.
Will they?
No.
Okay.
Now you're getting
if the Bucks. No. Okay, I'm just trying to walk.
Yeah, there it
if the
is.
Bucks played at Oklahoma City, whenever they play them, make up a date. December 15th, Milwaukee at Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Who wins
Rivalry
that
game.
Oklahoma City wins.
Can the Bucks win?
No. Have you seen that? It's going to be bad.
Okay, this is interesting.
They got 2 national TV games, and they're both against the Heat. Every network said no thanks for 80 games this year.
Then why, based on how you answered that and how you answered the Brewers one, aren't you just simply saying the Badgers are going to beat Notre Dame? Because you laughed off the concept of the Milwaukee Bucks beating the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Uh-huh.
But you didn't laugh off the concept of the Badgers beating Notre Dame, so why not just say it if you believe it?
I believe Wisconsin is going to hang tough with Notre Dame on September 6th at Lambeau Field. And I think it's an amazing opportunity for Wisconsin football. National game, there's only one other game on at that time, and it's like Ole Miss and Louisville or something. It's not that good of a game. Wisconsin-Notre Dame's going to have all the eyeballs. It's at Lambeau.
I mean, that is a good game, by the way, if that is the other game. Trinidad Chambliss may win the Heisman this year, but not the point. So I think there should be a penalty here. I don't think you should ever be allowed back on the jump around.
Wow.
Oh, no, less work for me. Oh, no, that's terrible. Don't.
What a punishment.
You know what? Hold on. I take it back. I forgot who I'm dealing with. I think you now should be added to the jump around every day. Riley and Jim should have to add you. It's a 3-person team now for the rest of the calendar year because you faked a bold take.
Yeah, I think that's a great punishment. I love it. Evan, we know you got to get to L.A. Tausch isn't here to keep you till 10:01, so we will let you go now. This has been informational and entertaining. Appreciate your time. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, buddy.
That was Jesse. How'd you think that went for you? It went better for Keisean Nixon than it went for you, I thought.
I don't feel great about this hour.
I think so.
Might take the rest of the show off and let you and Gary roll on Nixon and Tucker Kraft. And
I think so.
Let's sit the rest of this one out.
Well, apparently you have extra shifts for the jump around to get ready for, so you might want to get ready for that. All right, I want to talk a little bit more about Keisean Nixon and set us up for calls to kick off the 10 o'clock hour. So if you have a piping hot opinion like the one that Jesse had about the Badgers being able to beat Notre Dame, maybe, on Keisean Nixon, get in line. 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. I am happy to debate this with you. Like, if you're one of the folks that a few folks that have told me to do things that I'm not comfortable doing to Keisean Nixon. I don't want to hear that. But I want to hear your reasoned argument. I'm happy to debate that with you. 844-770-3776. More Wilde and Tausch with the great Gary Ellerson in as our cousin sub of the day. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. And when it comes to gifts that actually mean something, I head to Chalmers Jewelers. My wife Sarah, she loves the beautiful custom jewelry they've made for her. And my daughter Eleanor has some special pieces from Chalmers as well. And what I appreciate most, they help you create something personal that'll last a lifetime. Engagement rings, anniversary gifts, or a one-of-a-kind custom piece. Stop by Chalmers Jewelers and tell Garrett and Devin that Tausch sent you.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. I asked Wisconsin head coach Luke Fickell about breaking up a small fight at practice on Friday, and he said those tussles are actually what make him feel better about this year's squad.
If we don't have conflict, then I do wonder, do we also have the discipline to be able to handle those moments and move on? And that's where, I feel a lot better. I keep saying this, I feel better about where we are. There's a competitive spirit to that makes you feel better. There's a leadership part of that makes you feel better. And that's where we're in a different place. Guys are not going to allow the culture of acceptance in whatever it is that we're doing.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't play games. Just straightforward pricing, premium quality, and trusted Pella certified installation. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Imagine the peace of mind knowing your home or business is safe 24/7. I'm Jeffrey Beckman, president of J&K Security Solutions, and we provide security you can trust. Serving Madison and southern Wisconsin, J&K Security Solutions offers state-of-the-art home and business security systems tailored to your needs. From video surveillance to home and business automation, to find out how J&K Security can help secure what matters most in your life, visit jksecurity.com.
It's well known that the boss at the exteriors company is a perfectionist.
It's a gift.
He not only oversees every job, he inspects each aspect of the operation to get to the root of what your project will actually need to be long-lasting.
Call 960-ROOF.
Oh, he's proud of all the reviews.
What can I say? Take a look.
The Exteriors Company, built for Wisconsin, backed by expertise.
Beautiful day for Brewers baseball. Brats in one hand, your Brewers checking card from Associated Bank is in the other. And with a tap, it's 20% off gear at the Brewers team store. An express entry so you can tailgate longer. And up to 50% off home game tickets. All that power, all for the crew. Only with Brewers checking from Associated Bank. Join the crew at AssociatedBank.com/Brewers. Member FDIC.
Bringing summer gatherings to the next level is just another thing we do at Celebrations Entertainment. Hi, it's Jeffrey. With rental items like sound equipment, photo booths, and even yard games, you can make your event the party that everyone talks about. Any event like graduation parties, block parties, or even a backyard barbecue can be elevated with fun, interactive items to make everyone ask, hey, how'd you pull this off? Just tell them celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
ESPN Madison is your home for Badgers fans.
We know inside this program what we want our identity to be. We want to be a tough, nasty, and disciplined football team.
Tune in all season long right here on the ESPN Wisconsin app and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Thanks as always to Evan Cohen. We wish him luck on First Take. I can't recommend enough that maybe his first one out of the chutes should be that Wisconsin can beat Notre Dame on Labor Day weekend.
They can.
If he wants to steal that one.
They can. Yeah.
So the question I asked him, and he was talking about this with Jalen Hurts, which I thought was a really good example. Maybe I need to be a little more simplistic with my. Why do you hate Keisean Nixon? Right? And maybe there's not. This is the thing, and you mentioned this, Gary, about when you were a player versus now.
But people won't be honest. They won't be honest about it, though. They won't be honest about it.
So they'll give a different reason for why they hate him? Or they'll claim they don't?
Fans need to look deep inside and understand why they really have hate for this guy. I don't think they're honest about it.
Why do you think they really have hate for this guy?
We're going to find out. That's why we open it up. I'm challenging them right now, our callers, when you call in, be honest about it. What's your dislike?
All right. So that's as simple as I can put it. And if you don't hate Keisean Nixon, I would like to hear from you too. But what I'm trying to figure out is it a significant, because you have to be careful with social media, right? Because you don't know how representative that is of the fan base as a whole. So maybe it's real. Like there's about what we figured out was about a third of the fan base really doesn't like Matt LaFleur, based on various polls and anecdotal evidence. So 67% of people are fine with Matt LaFleur as their head coach. Somewhere in that 67%, there's people that really like him, or like his eyebrows, or whatever it is, right? But about a third of the fan base seems to think that Ed Policy should have fired. Okay, I don't know what the percentage is with Goody. I think he has, if you use like presidents, I think he has a better positive viewability or whatever that is, polling for him. But again, from the perspective of Keisean Nixon, it feels like more people hate him than like him. That is the feeling I have. And I just want to know why you hate him. That's all. Deep reasons, superficial reasons, whatever they may be. 844-770-3776. We will get to that at the start of the 10 o'clock hour. 844-770-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line. Liz is more. I can tell you one thing I don't hate, and that's Associated Bank. We've had a partnership with them since the show began. They have been great to us, and they will be great to you. They've got the best customer service in the industry. And while it is soon to be Packers season, and they've got some great things coming with Packers checking, and it's soon to be Badgers season, and they've got some great things coming with Badgers checking, they, of course, also have Brewers checking. And if you're headed to AmFam Field, you can get in more easily than everybody else because you can use the Associated Bank gate. You can save 20% off the Brewers team store. You can save 50% off your tickets. Plus, you can save both with your registration for the Brewers Baseball Academy and for the famous Racing Sausages 5K and 10K races. So go to AssociatedBank.com/Brewers to find out more. We'll kick off the 10 o'clock hour in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
ESPN Madison's Mark Tauscher here for Outdoor Living Unlimited. Well, my wife and I chose Outdoor Living Unlimited to build our outdoor project. When we met with Aaron and Eric Brown, owners and brothers of Outdoor Living Unlimited, we felt like they were the right guys to work with. We share the same hardworking values, and their showroom is a must-see at 2018 South Stoughton Road in Madison. If you're looking for a new deck, outdoor kitchen, screen room, and more, Outdoor Living Unlimited is a must. Start with OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com and end with an amazing outdoor space.
This is Wisconsin Volleyball National Champion Devin Robinson. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out, 220 State Street, and online at goodmansjewelers.com. It's a corner competition in Green Bay, and at the center of it, CB1 from last season, Keisean Nixon. Head coach Matt LaFleur speaking after Sunday's practice in Titletown, talking about the corner competition and what he's looking for from the group competing for the starting roles.
Obviously, it starts with doing your right assignment, and then it comes down to your style of play. How are you competing, going after the ball, not only in the pass game, but in the run game as well? Are you sticking your nose in there? And we need corners that are willing and capable tacklers.
More conversation about Keisean Nixon and the rest of the corners competing for those starting roles in Green Bay coming up on Wilde and Tausch with Gary Ellerson. It is the cousin sub of the day for Tausch next on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Baseball, the Brewers take 3 of 4 in L.A. against the Dodgers over the weekend. Brewers 2.5 up on the Braves, 3 up on the Dodgers for the best record in the National League, 5 up on the Cubs for the top spot in the NL Central. No game today for the Crew. They play the Mariners tomorrow.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com. 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Time now for headlines as we predict what will happen on Sunday as the Packers take on the Vikings at Lambeau Field.
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
I'm going to do something crazy.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio at ESPN Madison.
I'm going to say kissing cousins, pack bikes tie.
And celebrating 10 great years on ESPN Wisconsin.
He missed it again! And will end this crazy game in a tie. Oh my goodness.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now with Gary Ellerson in as our, let's try that again, in as our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs, we believe in better. All right, I want to play this. Now, I took this video. I'm not a big video guy in the locker room. I took one of Tucker Kraft. I took one of Nixon. It is not the one that, in response to my question, and let me explain how this kind of played out yesterday, okay? As I mentioned earlier, we're all kind of lingering near his locker. He basically says, "Bring it on." And I said, "Well, we're creeping around your locker because this isn't the easiest thing to talk about, right? Like, I'm not real excited to talk to a guy about how his job is in jeopardy or when a guy gets benched. Like, when I go talk to Aaron Banks, like, look, I get it. I understand your frustration. I've certainly been critical of that signing because of all the issues he's had. He told Tom Silverstein yesterday that it's tendonitis in his knee, which is the first time he's actually acknowledged what the issue is with his knee. But it's not like he's happy about his current lot in life. And I understand that's frustrating, and I get it. And it could cost him his job because Jagger Burton, if he plays well as a rookie, he's going to be the most expensive backup on the roster because Jagger Burton's going to be the starter at the rate we're going. And we don't know when he'll be able to do 11 on 11 work, much less play in the opener. So Aaron Banks is frustrated. Understandable, right? These are actual people. They are not robots. Keisean Nixon, on the other hand, this is a subject that there is some vitriol out there, right? So when I come up to him and he asks why, I said, look, this is not the easiest thing to talk about. And he says, well, what's not the easiest thing to talk about? Well, Matt's been pretty clear that you're competing for your starting job. So how do you feel about that? And that's when he says, I guess I'm being punished right now. So that is not the video that I have. I was the one who started the interview with him. It's a little hard to get your recording and your video and everything else going. So this is the clip that I did video. This is not a bias thing. This is what I was able to get for the show. Here is Keisean Nixon answering another reporter's question on the other side about how he feels about the competition that he is now facing for his job.
No, I don't view myself as no competition. I'm ready to compete for myself. What they do and what they choose to do, that's out of my control. I just want to control what I can control. I came from the bottom, so I'm here. I'm year 8. Since I've been here, I ain't been off the field. Anything they've asked me to do, I played at a high level. Whether it was getting accolades or anything, however it came with, I've showed up. So I should always show up.
So, as he points out, and he does this multiple times during the conversation, this is a guy that barely played in Oakland / Las Vegas. Went from being a guy that was barely playing for the Packers at first to being a 2-time first-team All-Pro return guy. Then he's a nickel guy. Then he's an outside corner. Then he's the number 1 outside corner, right? So he has come from the bottom up. He's also, Gary, not wrong about his playing time. Last season, he played 1,014 snaps. That's 91% of the defensive snaps. The year before that, he played 1,020. That was 94% of the defensive snaps. Again, if you're not happy with some of those snaps, I don't blame you. There have been plays that he should be criticized for. There are times where I understand people question his effort. The guy's been durable, and he shows up. Whatever that's worth to you, you decide. But
because weren't we upset for a while that we did have a cornerback that we could never get on the field?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we never knew when he was going to practice. We never knew if he was going to finish a game. I mean, we did this for about 2-3 years with a cornerback. And now you got a guy who's there over 90% of the time. And what are we complaining about? I want the guy that wants to be there and that's going to be there every single time, every single practice, every single game. I think it's tough to coach a guy when you don't know if he's going to finish a game or not, if you don't know what's wrong with him. This guy's been available for you.
When you assess, and then we'll get to texts and calls, when you assess how he's played, what is it like? You know ball way better than I do. You played it at the highest level. What do you see when you see him play?
I think people want more from him, and he tends to wane a little bit. There's some lapses a little bit where you think there are plays that he should make that he doesn't make, and then he makes a play, and you go like, wow, and you want to see that all the time. But that just may not be who he is. And then there's sometimes, right, when you do an interview with him, kind of sets himself up. But I would venture to say that the interview that there's no tougher interview to do than what you just did with this young man yesterday, and I thought he handled it well. And because he had every right. If I'm in that position, I understand that the Packers are probably trying to send a message. Maybe they're trying to motivate him. Mm-hmm. Maybe they're trying to tell him, we may not redo your contract. This may be your last year. All that's in there. But I hate those kind of games. And I'm sure that he's talked to Coach LaFleur, and they told him where he's at. And if that's the case, then he can go out and be the best version of himself and knowing exactly what's going on. So it feels like he knows that maybe his job is on the line, or maybe he just needs to produce better. Maybe those lapses that I'm talking about shouldn't be happening, because it does happen, not often, but sometimes where you feel like the dude is in a position to make the play, but it just doesn't happen.
That is a very even-handed response. I am curious now. I'm just going to ask the question simply. Why do you hate Keisean Nixon? 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. I will also share, I know Jen in the YouTube comments and a few others have read the story on channel3000.com. Fair and balanced. I tried to just get everything he said into that story. It's way longer than it normally would be because I wanted people to read as much as they could. The Packers did not post that video of that interview on their website. At least they hadn't as of yesterday. And I know there were folks that wanted to see it from start to finish. This is the best I can do for you. 844-770-3776 on Keisean Nixon. We will get that conversation going next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Toscher here for Olson Toon. Well, first impressions matter, and your outdoor space is often the first thing people see. And since 1997, Olson Toon has been helping homeowners and businesses across Dane County create and maintain outdoor spaces. From landscaping and concrete to excavation and year-round maintenance, they're your team for everything outdoors. Ready to elevate your property? Contact Olson Toon today and learn more at olsontoon.com. Creating lasting impressions every season, every day. That's the Olson Toon difference.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
Seriously injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today.
Dealing with storm damage? That's never fun. That's why homeowners are turning to Everlight Solar for roofing and exterior repairs done right. They handle the entire process, from insurance claims to fixing your roof with one trusted team. Less stress, faster solutions, and a home that stays protected from the elements. If your roof took a hit, Everlight's got you covered. Visit everlightroofing.com to get started today. That's everlightroofing.com. Everlight, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics.
Trent here from Canopy Wealth Management. We're often asked, when's the right time to work with a financial advisor? The answer is always simple, now. Whether you're building wealth, nearing retirement, or already retired, the Canopy team can help you gain clarity around your goals, resources, and path to financial independence. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's our promise. Get started at canopy-wealth.com.
Paid for by Canopy Wealth Management. Canopy Wealth Management is registered as an investment advisor with the SEC.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Paul Hansen here, founder of Iron Jock. Worried about the heat this summer? Don't sweat it. Our gear is made for real life. Iron Jock apparel combines moisture wicking with superior cooling and advanced odor-fighting silver ion technology that eliminates 99.9% of odor causing bacteria, so you are fresh for whatever's next. Our focus is simple. Make apparel that performs hard no matter where you are or what you are doing. Visit us at ironjock.com to experience the difference.
Your family's safety is your responsibility, and it starts with a solid roof. When the next storm rips through and takes some of your shingles with it, call Badgerland Exteriors. Or looking to replace your whole roof but don't want to break the bank? Let the team at Badgerland Exteriors give you a free, no obligations estimate.
AJ with Badgerland Exteriors here. Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's BadgerlandExteriors.com.
Mark Toscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. And when it comes to gifts that actually mean something, I head to Chalmers Jewelers. My wife Sarah, she loves the beautiful custom jewelry they've made for her. And my daughter Eleanor has some special pieces from Chalmers as well. And what I appreciate most, they help you create something personal that'll last a lifetime. Engagement rings, anniversary gifts, or a one-of-a-kind custom piece. Stop by Chalmers Jewelers and tell Garrett and Devin that Tausch sent you.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
The Brewers have the best record in baseball.
Struck him out swinging. Mizorowski pumps a fist as he strikes out Ohtani, then Freeman.
Continue listening to the First Place Crew right here on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home of the Brewers.
Jesse, I think he gave me really good advice. I still hate framing a question as, why do you hate Keisean Nixon?
It's a little mean.
Tausch and I always say, we don't like the word hate. We agree on that. That guy, I didn't like the way that guy was mean to you about the Culver's joke. And
there's a lot of Notre Dame fans who were mean to me over the weekend. So, this is not even in the top 10 of the meanest things I've heard in the last 48 hours.
844-770-37. 844-770-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and text line. List is more. Let's start with Neil on the north side. Neil, why do you hate Keisean Nixon?
What's up, man? Hey, look, I don't hate Keisean Nixon. Yeah, this is vintage Midwestern up north stuff, man. That y'all got going on with Keisean Nixon. We went through this a couple years ago with number 23. I know y'all remember number 23. I ain't gonna say his name. Guys calling in, even you guys on the station. We just want a guy who's going to play, who's going to be on the field, who's going to get. Now you got a guy on the field. Now it ain't enough. Y'all had the guy playing 90 snaps, 1,000 snaps. I'm pretty sure he gonna have some reps that ain't too desirable. Just like you guys, you guys on the radio every day. Y'all say some things that ain't valid. It's inevitable. He playing 90% of the snaps. He playing. So look, this just vintage Midwest, Northwest, up north stuff, man. Y'all, enough ain't never enough. We gonna always find a problem with something, man. The guy, he giving you what he got. He on the field. He played all 17, 18 games last year, didn't he?
Yeah, he's never missed a game since he came to Green Bay. Never missed a game.
Unreal. You see what I'm saying? But now he a problem. Come on, man. He gonna have a couple snaps that we not gonna like. You know what I'm saying? But it happened. He played 1,000 snaps.
All right, Neil. Let me ask you a follow-up question, okay? Because I now both you and Gary, I think I'm picking up with what you're putting down.
Yeah.
I would ask you this, and I want you to be honest about this, because this is my thing, and I've been. There's two things that really bother me about this. One is, if you're mad that Keisean Nixon, I've said this a million times, if you're mad that Keisean Nixon is the Packers' number one corner, don't be mad at Keisean Nixon, be mad at Goody. And he clearly realizes that he needs to change the makeup. That's why he drafted two corners. That's why he signed St. Juste, but he was wrong on Nate Hobbs. I don't know what he was on Eric Stokes, because Eric Stokes goes to Vegas and plays at a level that he never played at in Green Bay, right? So that's number 21. Yes. So one is that if you're mad that he's the number one corner, it's not his fault. Secondly, though, he is, and this is the one that really bothers me, and I think there's a little bit of what you're talking about here. He's brash. He says things that I personally would not say, but I thought that's the position he plays. Right? Like, you want guys that are so confident that they say that kind of stuff, and yet in his case, it pisses people off. And that's the part I don't get.
Well, you say them DBs, they got to kind of have an edge. You know what I mean? They kind of like, they got to play. Oh yeah. So like, I ain't got a problem with them. Not like you said. Do you want more talent out there on the edge? Definitely. So now, if you want to pay, he is number one corner. He probably ain't good enough to be your number one corner. No, but the guy done showed up. You know what I'm saying? Right. The guy done showed. He definitely done showed up, man. He done from every level. Ever since you seen him, he done showed up. So like, man, but that got to count for something.
It should. I totally agree.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It got to. Now I think he done got caught in a numbers game. I don't think he'll be back next year. You know what I'm saying? No. And that's just the way NFL football go. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He done gave you his service. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He done gave you his service. But I don't think he'll be back next year because it's a numbers crunch now. Yeah.
Neil, outstanding call about the Midwest up north mentality. Up north.
Was he talking about Crivets, or was he talking about Crivets? Where is he talking about?
Well played.
Hayward, or is he?
So there's some controversy on what Crivets
Three
constitutes.
Lakes, Minocqua. Yeah. Yeah, what is he talking?
Manitowish Waters is, I think, what he's referring to.
Manitowish Waters.
There you go. Up north, Crivets.
Very clearly up north. Yeah.
Clearly.
Mm-hmm.
On the text line, on the Carbless Talk and text line, on the text portion, whenever it seems Keisean does have one positive play, it seems to get overshadowed by 4 to 5 negative plays or penalties. Just shut up and play ball, man. Let your play speak for itself. Well, again, not everyone hands the football to the official like Barry Sanders. That's just not. And by the way, they very well could have gone 0-3 against the Bears if he doesn't pick off that pass in the end zone to seal the win at Lambeau. And again, I never hear about that
anymore.
play.
I think they remember the last game.
Yep.
No, because they remember the last game.
And by the way, the other thing
that I think last game against Chicago, Jason, there were a lot of mistakes made in that last game against Chicago, and not all of them were on Keisean Nixon.
Again, I agree with that as well. I think here's the other thing about Keisean Nixon, and I see we also have a comment in the YouTube comments from, hold on one second, from Martin. I hate his attitude towards the team. It's a me first, team second. Kraft is doing everything he can to play. Nixon's effort sucks, and he acts like he doesn't want to be there. All right, first of all, if you look at the way he carries himself, his teammates love him. Like, I understand that you might not as a fan, but Xavier McKinney, Evan Williams, Javon Bullard, all those guys love him, okay? And he loves them. So, again, I don't disagree. I don't agree with that premise. The other part of this, this idea of a lack of accountability, I know people have forgotten this because, again, there's the news cycle moves quickly. But Keisean talked early in camp, and we talked to him about his contract, and he wouldn't discuss it. And in that time that we talked to him, he did, if you want him to say more things where he admits to his performance not being good enough, in there he said, just going over the film and watching the mistakes I made and just some of the dumb penalties that I gave up. I mean, that sounds like accountability to me. Now, again,
where's that at?
That's what he said on, I have my story from Channel 3000 here. That was on July 29th. He said that.
And he admitted that.
He did. Dumb penalties. That was his phrase. Dumb penalties. That I gave up. But again, later in that same sentence, but I still feel like I had a really strong year. But I'm definitely ready to prove myself again. So again, does he help himself sometimes?
But you gotta have both. Right, you gotta have both, Jason. Come on. You gotta have both. But I'm still good.
Dumb penalties. He said it right there. His words, not mine. We will get to some more of your thoughts on Keisean Nixon. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line. Liss is more. After I tell you, and we're going to be at the Potawatomi Casino Hotel and the Potawatomi Sportsbook for our upcoming fantasy football draft on August 27th. But look, if you're looking to get away, maybe Keisean needs to get away. Well, getaway is waiting for him in Milwaukee at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Start with the stay. The biggest hotel rooms in Milwaukee, nearly 500 beautifully designed rooms and luxury suites, and you're just steps away from everything that's happening inside. And if you're hungry, you've got so many options, from the Dream Dance Steakhouse to the Marketplace, to Rock and Brews, to the Canal Street Cafe, Ruyi Asian Kitchen, the Cream City Coffee Company. There are food and drink specials happening all the time. And if you're planning a wedding, a birthday, or an anniversary, their event spaces are built to make it unforgettable. Sophisticated relaxation, incredible flavor, and a full night out all in one place. Potawatomi Casino Hotel. We'll continue our Keisean Nixon conversation next with Gary Ellerson as our cousin sub of the day. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't believe in games. They never inflate pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. Buy direct through Pella, and one trusted team handles everything with Pella certified installers every step of the way. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
What life events have you experienced over the past couple of years? Well, maybe one is coming up. The sale of a company, death, divorce, a health crisis, or helping to pay for college or a wedding. Well, Annex Wealth Management has assisted clients with life events, but planning for them can make all the difference. Knowing what you own, why you own it, and how much you're paying for it is a big part of smart financial planning. Annex has an entire in-house team that works together so you can make informed decisions when life events come up. Click Get Started at AnnexWealth.com.
The Miz is filling out the punch card.
Struck him out swinging. Brings home the pitch. A swing and a miss. He struck him out. Strike three called with a slider. The fourth consecutive Miz punch out.
Stacking up Ks left and right.
And that is strikeout number 200 on this season.
Tune into every start from the NL Cy Young leader.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Go back and watch that inning over and over again.
Right here on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home of the Brewers.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right, and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything, from the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Chevy is called the heartbeat of America for a reason, and Silverado keeps its rhythm. You feel it in the TurboMax engine with best-in-class standard torque, an available Z71 off-road package that keeps you rolling when the road turns rough, and the most functional truck bed with best-in-class cargo space. They're trucks that work as hard as you do, so you can do more of what you love without missing a beat.
See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Based on latest competitive information, excludes other GM vehicles.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on August 18th.
Curio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Seattle Mariners.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh my goodness, third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Delta Dental of Wisconsin. Tune in August 18th at 6:40 on WISC TV in Madison, or check your local listings to watch the game.
There's lots to see and do at the Dodge County Fair. Fun for me and you. There's good times in the air.
Corn dogs, demo derbies, rock and roll, funnel cakes, wild rides, and roaring tractors.
It's all happening at the Dodge County Fair, August 19th through the 23rd. Get ready for 5 epic days of food, fun, competition, live music, grandstand action, and family entertainment.
Purchase tickets in advance to save money and make entry into the fair faster. Season tickets are just $35 and can be purchased at most Dodge County banks, Piggly Wiggly in Beaver Dam and Juneau, Leroy Meats, and the Market in Beaver Dam. Or just $38 at DodgeCountyFairgrounds.com.
Don't miss a minute of the Dodge County Fair, August 19th through the 23rd.
So come on, everyone, to the Dodge County Fair.
The Brewers have the best record in baseball.
Everything they've done this year is to say, can this team beat LA? That is the goal.
Continue listening to the First Place Crew all season, right here on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home of the Brewers.
Gary, before we get back to Keisean Nixon, you as a veteran parent, kind of a both important and concerning moment upstairs just now. Sydney is 15, Maddie is 16, and they just left to go get their learner's permits to drive.
Oh my goodness!
I am not. I've known this was coming for 16 years. Not ready. So okay,
but they are.
I don't know if they're ready. They're ready to get the permit. Then we'll start the process of actually teaching them how to drive. Yeah, they're very excited. I am less so.
They did the behind the wheel, so is behind the wheel coming up? Is that what's coming up?
Yeah, they've got their. I think they're going to go sign up for their first lesson with their school counselor, who also is a 30-year veteran of driver's ed teaching. So they're in good hands. But I'm be lying if I said I wasn't nervous. All right, let's get back to your calls. 844.
You're going to buy them both cars or one car to share? Are they not going to get a car? How's that going to work?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
It's a great question. I'm not going to lie to you, Jesse. Haven't thought that far down the road.
Jason, it's not that far down the road anymore.
Because you're not going to want them driving your car, Jason.
I don't want them driving at all. So that's part of the problem.
They can't drive if they don't have a car.
It's true. I'm playing 4D chess. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm doing. All right, let's get to your calls and your texts, because my problems with children learning how to drive, it's not your problem. Let's go to Levi and Stevens Point first. Levi, thanks for holding on, buddy. Why do you hate Keisean Nixon?
Good morning, guys. I'm just so laughing about what your daughters are doing, Jason. I don't blame you, man. I've been driving for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine, but let's just hope they don't get a speeding ticket on their first after they get a license. Don't want to see that.
If they drive like Paula, they might.
Oh, snap!
Thank you very much.
I was going to say also that Neil's call was awesome, by the way, last segment. But anyway, but Keisean, I've been thinking about this since I was waiting to be called on here. I'm thinking he was kind of being a little cancerous, just a little bit. Almost, I don't know if I would call him like the Terrell Owens like player who would be cancerous to the team, like what Terrell did back in Philadelphia back in the early 2000s with him and Don McNabb, with all that shenanigans he was doing in Philly. I don't know if you guys would agree with me with that take or not. I was just thinking about this. There's like a Terrell Owens thing to it, in my opinion.
You know what, Levi? Because Terrell Owens is a Pro Football Hall of Famer now. Let's make sure we're clear on that. But I'm glad you bring him up because, and look, I'm not putting Keisean in that class, and I've got Jason in the YouTube comments. It's everyone's fault but Nixon's. No, look, when you blow a coverage, it is your fault. When you fail to make a tackle, it is your fault. All I am saying is that it feels like the level of anger, frustration, hatred, whatever, is not proportional to the way he plays. It feels like it is stronger than the negatives that, to me, and again, I'm not a fan, so maybe that's part of it. But it just feels like, Gary, it just feels like more than it should be. That's all. That's my Jesse Nelson hot take.
It is. Well, let me ask you this, because you're in the locker room more than most certainly more than me. Does it feel like that he's a nuisance inside that locker room? Because that's what a lot of other people are saying, that he's ruining the locker room. Now, from the outside looking in, I don't see that.
I don't either. Now, again, I think his teammates really like him. I think one thing people don't understand is that, and Tausch has talked about this a bunch, I know you have as well, everybody wants to get paid. Everybody in that locker room wants to get paid. And they also view it as, well, sometimes there's opportunity cost that if they pay one guy, they're not going to pay you. Like when they chose to pay Morgan Burnett instead of Micah Hyde, or when they chose to pay Cletius Hunt instead of Vonnie Holiday. Yeah, that's oops, wrong guy. You bet on the wrong horse, right? But more often than not, there's a kind of a rising tide lifts all boats, right? Like, none of them, like no player in that locker room would be pissed at Kraft if he didn't take part in 11 on 11. I know fans think it's great that he's doing it, and that's fine, but he is absorbing a risk. There's no two ways about it. And yes, if you want to make the argument, yes, he's under contract. He is. But that's not the world we live in, right? Jahmyr Gibbs was under contract. He didn't practice until he got his new deal. T.J. Watt several years ago was under contract. He didn't practice till he got his... Heck, Jordan Love was under contract. And he didn't practice a couple years ago until he got his deal. So Kraft is doing essentially what Davante Adams did, which did not get him a new deal in Green Bay, by the way. I got him the franchise tag and a ticket out of town. And I definitely do not want to relitigate that because there are all kinds of people that still blame Davante for that scenario. Jesse, what do you have on the text portion of the Carbless Talking text line?
This one's from Randy in Greendale. He texts in, I don't hate Keisean. I love him as a returner. He became our number one cornerback by default due to a poor roster-building job by Goody. So I think that's where a lot of the frustration with the fans are with Keisean. We got a number 2 cornerback or nickel forced to play the 1, and he did the best he could. Randy in Greendale texts that in.
That's way too reasonable of a take on Keisean, right? But again, my only argument is, Gary, if you don't like the fact that he's the number 1, he's not the one who elected himself. He did proclaim himself the number 1. That is fair.
He did.
But the reason he's there is the way the position has been handled by someone whose job it is to stock that position.
Well, he did, but you got to give him credit. He played himself into that position. Some by default, injuries to others, but most certainly he played. You can tell he got better each and every game and each and every year, and he ascended to that position. He wasn't that when they brought him in from the Raiders.
He definitely was not. Let's take one more call on this, and then we'll play some trivia. Let's talk to Alan in Milwaukee. Alan, thanks for holding on, buddy. And I'm sorry to Jen in the YouTube comments, but I thought this was a better way to get people riled up. Why do you hate Keisean Nixon?
How's it going, y'all?
Good, buddy. How are you?
I actually don't. Pretty good. I don't hate Keisean either. But this is just what makes the sports world go round. Because back in my day, it was T-Buck that the Packer fans couldn't wait to run out of town. And then in my daughter's day, who's in her 20s and driving, Jason, it was A.J. Hawk that the Packer fans couldn't wait to run out of town. And now it's Keisean Nixon. Now, T-Buck has had a Super Bowl ring, and he's gone on to have like 50 career interceptions. A.J. Hawk is the Packers' leading tackler, for whatever that's worth. And Keisean has been a Pro Bowler in 2 different positions. But yet, Packer fans, for some reason, find one player to run out of town, faster than a locomotive or whatever it is, for whatever reason.
It's a good point. And by the way, and I would argue that this guy has also brought some of it on himself, but they felt kind of the same way about Rashawn Gary, right? And there were times when Gary certainly deserved criticism for appearing not to be playing his hardest. His production was not great, right? But again, I don't mind if people criticize you based on your performance. That's part of my job. That's part of your job. That's all of our jobs that do this for a living. And fans have every right to criticize that. Again, Alan, my only point with him is it just doesn't seem it doesn't seem to correlate to his quality of play. It seems way more critical than he deserves.
Well, that as a corner, I think he's just under a microscope. If you look at a lot of corners throughout the league, they have a lot of the same plays. A lot of corners don't like to tackle. A lot of corners, tackling is something that's it's in you or it ain't. It ain't something that the coaches ain't teaching him. He's a grown man. If he ain't tackling by now, he's never going to tackle. So you just got to look at other stuff. If he's not fast enough, he's not fast enough. If he's only going to get slower as time goes on. So it's some stuff he's just up against. So if he's, the best you got, the best you can do is just coach him up. But if you microscope everybody across the league, the other, 63 corners, you'll find a lot of the same stuff going on.
Yeah, and again, this is what we talked about earlier in the show. Like, I loved Jair Alexander as a cover guy, and he was physical.
Yes.
And then that play, I don't blame him. I don't blame him for playing the way he played after that injury, because if you can't play, then you can't cover, and if you can't cover, that's what you're really paid to do. And if they're going to ask guys to tackle, this is going to happen with guys. And I'm not saying they shouldn't. I'm saying that there's got to be a trade-off, Garrett. And thanks for the call, Alan. There's a trade-off. If this is what you want from your corners and you want bigger physical guys, they're probably not going to be quite as good at cover guys. Is that fair?
Correct. And that's why you got to go get what you want. And Jason, speaking of this, there's two guys I'm looking forward to watching this year that are not on the Packers. One would be Rashawn Gary, and the other one would be Quay Walker. What do those two guys do in a different system with different coaching? Would it be better? Because you never know. I mean, you talked about Stokes earlier with the Raiders, and he seemed to be playing much better. You talked about Michael Hyde leaves here and had a heck of a career in Buffalo.
That's one of the beauties of that. And look, I will be first to admit that I have been as critical of Rashawn Gary as anyone. If you have Micah Parsons on the opposite side, and LVN's going to face the same thing once Micah's back, you need to get home. You need to take advantage of the attention he draws. And second, when you lose him for the season like they did last year, you have to elevate your game. I don't think that's I try very hard when I am critical to be fair in my criticism. I've tried to be that way my entire career. Sometimes I get accused of being too soft and not being harsh enough. So be it. That's fine. But like with Rashawn Gary, I guess I was super critical of him, but I don't think either of those statements about him are unreasonable. I just don't. And I'll say the same thing about LVN.
You're right. And speaking of that, but most people don't understand your job, I think, or our job. You got to be willing. You got to go face those guys in the locker room. You can't just be popping off at the mouth and not speaking the facts. Guys don't mind if you criticize them if it's right. But you can't just go be saying stuff on the radio or TV and it's not, and you got to go face those guys. I mean, so that's why I say fans, they can say anything they want to say, blah, 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 because they don't work inside the locker room with these dudes.
And look, I don't shy away from being critical, and I got accused of all kinds of things on Twitter the last 24 hours about Keisean Nixon, some things that I don't believe that are appropriate to be saying on social media or on the radio of what activities they suggested I was engaging in. But look, if you get cooked on a play, that ends up in the story that I write, that ends up in the conversation that we have the next day about the game. I'm not going to talk about it, right? Like, I did the radio show with Rodgers for 4 years. If he threw a critical interception or didn't play well, we still talked about it. The thing was, he won 2 MVPs in the 4 years we did the show. There weren't that many games where we had boy, you really played like trash. Like there are times that you have to have but I don't want to be, I'm not going to criticize him because I got to see him in the locker room. If it's warranted, again, I asked Keisean Nixon about the play at the goal line in the playoff game against Chicago. Like, I asked him about it yesterday because that is a terrible optics moment for him. And A, I would think he'd want the opportunity to address it. And B, it's my job to ask a hard question once in a while. And that is a hard question. Believe me. Go ahead.
When you went back and looked at that play, did you go back and look at that play?
So the only camera angle I ever see is the one from behind, and in my opinion, it looks like Swift is going to score regardless, and instead of taking unnecessary contact, and to your point at the very beginning of the show, he is not in great position. You want to criticize him for that he's not ready to make a play before he crosses the goal line, go right ahead. But jumping out of the way after the fact, after he's already jumping, it looks to me like he's already going to cross the goal line no matter what Keisean Nixon does. That's how it looks to me. Is that how it looks to you?
Mm-hmm. That's exactly how it looks to me. And if he would have tried to have tackled that guy, that means he would have had to get down in a football position and probably would have broke his neck because he couldn't have got down fast enough.
Nevertheless, you feel how you feel about Keisean Nixon. We're going to talk about other things during the 11 o'clock hour.
There it is.
But first, we're going to play trivia. Jesse, what's today's category and what caller do you want?
It is a Monday, so it is the Sports Weekend Recap. Recapping an eventful, especially baseball weekend of the Sports Weekend Recap.
Do you want to take caller 25 in honor of Keisean Nixon?
Sure, what the heck. Let's do it. We got a bunch of people with us today. Caller 25.
Caller 25 right now, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 25 plays trivia next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
ESPN Madison is your home for Badgers fans.
Put wins in the left column, that can solve a lot. I think Barry said it best, winning's great for the soul. Well, we need to do some soul building around here.
Tune in all season long right here on the ESPN Wisconsin app and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Mark Tauscher here, and whether you're chilling in the stands, cheering on your favorite baseball team in the summer, or keeping those mountains blue in the bleachers as the snow flies at a football game this winter, there's nothing better than watching your favorite team while enjoying an ice-cold Coors Light. Coors Light is brewed with a 3-step cold process, cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged, so it's actually made to chill. The mountains on Coors Light's cold activated bottles and cans turn blue. It's when you know it's chilled to perfection, which, besides the cold, refreshing taste, is my favorite thing about drinking Coors Light. Refreshingly cold and only 102 calories, Coors Light is made to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhafels. Shop Steinhafels Labor Day sale and save up to 30% on furniture and decor. Test Rest a Beauty Rest Black and get a free $25 gas card. Only at Steinhafels. I asked Wisconsin head coach Luke Fickell about breaking up a small fight at practice on Friday, and he said those tussles are actually what make him feel better about this year's squad.
If we don't have conflict, then I do wonder, do we also have the discipline to be able to handle those moments and move on? And that's where I feel a lot better. I keep saying this, I feel better about where we are. There's a competitive spirit to that makes you feel better. There's a leadership part of that makes you feel better. And that's where we're in a different place. Guys are not going to allow the culture of acceptance in whatever it is that we're doing.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't play games. Just straightforward pricing, premium quality, and trusted Pella certified installation. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Bryce Clark is co-owner of Capital Lock, a growing business here in Madison. They implemented a workflow automation solution from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
We use DocuWare. It's a document imaging software, helps capture basically all the documents that we have.
Such as?
We primarily use it for accounts payable and accounts receivable, pretty much anything relating to our sales or payments side of accounting.
And Bryce, the impact of the DocuWare software solution from James Imaging Systems?
It's nice that we can scan in a document and now anybody can just look up that document number and we can find that piece of information.
The overall business benefit for Capital Lock?
It's made us wildly more efficient, especially me.
AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
I feel like the Dallas Cowboys have positioned themselves to win the Michael Parsons trade. Quinnen Williams was one of the big acquisitions with the capital that Jerry Jones got when he dealt Michael on the eve of last season, and you saw that Dallas Cowboys defense took a leap in terms of improvement. And so I think they see him as a foundational piece for what Christian Parker, their new defensive coordinator, wants to do.
Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings from 5 to 9 on 100.5 ESPN.
Less than 4 in 10 kids aged 6 through 12 are playing sports regularly. 4 in 10 kids? Let it sink in. Just 4 in 10 kids. ESPN is building a nationwide coalition powered by Disney called Take Back Sports, with the purpose of training more coaches, expanding access, and creating community-driven sports programming that puts kids and fun first. We're working on that story. We hope you'll join us.
Visit takebacksports.org to learn more.
The Ford Summer Sales event is on now at Metro Ford of Madison. For a limited time, get a new 2026 Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend for just $27,972. Price includes $499 dock fee and all applicable rebates. Excludes tax, title, license, registration, dealer fees, and optional equipment. Price subject to prior sale and availability. See dealer for complete details. Offer is valid to qualified buyers and ends August 31st. So head to Metro Ford of Madison today. View full inventory at metrofordofmadison.com.
The Brewers have the best record in baseball.
Struck him out swinging. Mizorowski pumps a fist as he strikes out Ohtani, then Freeman.
Continue listening to the First Place Crew right here on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home of the Brewers.
So here's what we're going to do with trivia, as we often do with Tausch. Gary, we'll play this like Hollywood Squares. Lee in Cottage Grove will answer, and then we'll ask you if you agree or disagree with his answer. We'll see who turns out to be right. All right? Let's play some trivia presented by Cousin Subs.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is brought to you by Cousin Subs. National Sandwich Month is here. Cousins Club members earn exclusive rewards throughout August. Join now by downloading the Cousin Subs app. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
Let's welcome in our contestant, the aforementioned Lee in Cottage Grove. Lee, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm good.
Well, hopefully you're still good after you answer all these questions right. The Sports Weekend Recap. Question number 1 is this. In his Major League debut on Saturday, Cardinals outfielder Joshua Baez became the first player in Major League Baseball history to do what in each of his first 3 plate appearances of his career? Did he hit 3 home runs? Did he walk 3 times with the bases loaded? Or did he make 3 wishes granted by Jesse the Genie?
He hit 3 home runs.
He did indeed. Sorry, Gary, I forgot to ask if you agreed or not. Nailed that. All right, question 2.
I agree.
Well done.
There's the Genie.
Jesse the Genie.
That gives me nightmares.
Your wish is my command.
Your nightmare is my job.
Good.
Just rub that lamp.
It's not good.
Not good at all.
Hey,
good.
now.
I should send that to the Notre Dame fans.
I'd like that one.
Question 2, Lee, is this. Which game did NBC feature on Sunday Night Baseball last night instead of Brewers-Dodgers? Jesse's had a bug up his you-know-what about this.
Yeah, Brewers-Dodgers should have been Sunday Night Baseball. This was ridiculous.
You've made your position very clear, much like your position on Wisconsin-Notre Dame. Lee, was the game they showed on Sunday Night Baseball Cardinals-Cubs, Mariners-Astros, or Diamondbacks-Braves?
Mariners-Astros.
Gary, agree or disagree? I remembered that time.
Agree.
You're both correct. 2 for 2. All right, Lee, question 3. Following play this weekend, which division features all 5 of its teams within 1 game of qualifying for the MLB postseason? Is it the American League West, the National League Central, or the American League East?
On this one, I'm not sure of. I'm going to guess the American League East.
Gary, what say you?
Disagree.
One of you is right. And it's Lee. Jesse, break down the standings.
Okay, so the Tampa Bay Rays have the best record in the American League. They are leading the division. The Yankees are running away with the wild card. The Red Sox and the Orioles, or maybe the Blue Jays, are in the wild card behind the Yankees. And then whoever the Orioles or the Blue Jays, whoever the other one is one game back. So they are all within one game of qualifying for the postseason. Obviously, one team will not be able to make it because of how math works, but that's by far the most competitive division when it comes to playoff races, the AL East.
Theoretically, 4 of the 5 teams in the division could qualify for the playoffs.
If the season ended right now, 4 of the 5 would qualify for the playoffs from the AL East. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Well, and Lee, if the season ended today, you'd be the number 1 seed and the only one with cheese fry helmet chips in the helmet because you got all 3 right. That means you've got 4 entries into Friday's drawing. Thanks for playing, buddy. We appreciate you.
All right,
Thanks, Lee.
a lot. See you guys.
That is Wilde and Tausch Trivia, presented by Cousin Subs. We have a Cousin Sub. Gary Ellerson is our Cousin Sub of the day. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. We better get to the 11 o'clock hour because Gary's got questions. That's where we'll start next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tauscher here, and 25 years later, we still climb so they are never forgotten. Join the Green Bay Metro Fire Department and Pierce Manufacturing for the 14th annual 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb, Saturday, September 12th at Lambeau Field. Climb at your own pace while carrying the name and photo of one of the 343 fallen firefighters. It's not about how fast you climb, it's about why you climb. All funds raised benefit the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation. Register or donate at piercemfg.com/climb.
Hey Madison, it's Rich Eisen. Join me for the Rich Eisen Show, weekdays noon to 2, right here on 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's premier roofing, siding, and window contractor since 2002. Visit them at ridgetopexteriors.com. There's a battle for the starting corner job in Green Bay. One of the latest developments from Packers training camp as the team continues to get set for its second preseason game later this week in Denver against the Broncos. Head coach Matt LaFleur, speaking with the media before Sunday's practice in Titletown, said what he wants to see from the corners competing for the starting role.
Obviously, it starts with doing your right assignment, and then it comes down to your style of play. How are you competing, going after the ball, not only in the pass game, but in the run game as well? Are you sticking your nose in there? And we need corners that are willing and capable tacklers.
He couldn't be talking about anybody in particular, could he? Check out the latest from Rob Domofsky covering the green and gold over at ESPN.com. And more conversation coming up on Wilde and Tausch here on 100.5 ESPN with Gary Ellerson in his The Cousin Sub of the Day for Tausch. Baseball, Brewers take 3 of 4 over the weekend against the LA Dodgers. Best record in baseball. No game today. They face the Mariners tomorrow.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com. 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Joining us now is the Green Bay Packers' new head coach, Matt LaFleur on Wilde and Tausch.
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
Matt LaFleur, Matt Nagy, and Matt Patricia. Who is the most famous non-NFC North head coach not named Matt? No, I'm sorry.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio at ESPN Madison.
Who is the most famous non-NFC North head coach named Matt? Matt Damon, Matt Ryan, somebody else.
And celebrating 10 great years on ESPN Wisconsin.
Can you repeat that question?
Sorry.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch with Gary Ellerson, the Badgers and Packers Packers legend who you see every time you turn on your television if you have Spectrum One News. On the round table, Dennis Krause's the GOAT, man. Talk about people who are underrated. He's the all-timer.
Yeah.
And the other guy that you do that with, the Hall of Fame guy, Roy Lee.
Yeah.
He's okay too.
Roy Lee. Look at you.
I know a lot.
Yeah.
People don't realize how much I know.
Roy Lee.
I have a funny. All right, let me mull this over before I decide whether I'm going to share that.
No, go ahead. I want to hear. I want to hear. No, you can't stop. Come on.
I think it would be best for everybody if I did. So I want to give. I don't like the phrase glazing. I don't like it.
You use it all the time. I don't.
It get used around me, and then Tausch accused me of self-glazing one day. That was really uncomfortable. But I want to say some nice things about Jesse, which I know is going to come as a surprise to some. We give him a hard time,
especially Notre Dame fans.
Okay. Yeah, no doubt. And your size 7 Crocs, which I don't even understand that joke. You do a lot of really important work for us that allows us to do the show the way we like to do it. Like, Tausch is a stream of consciousness guy. I am not in any way complaining about my job, but it can create some challenges at times where you don't know where he's going, and you got to think on your feet in my spot, okay? But it also means that we don't do, like, I know Jen, Gabe, and Chewy do a show prep meeting every day. That's not how we operate here.
Actually, I think every show does that except us. Jason, literally all of them.
Well, I do one show on ESPN Milwaukee for 1 hour, and that guy does not do that.
That's true.
Exactly.
Okay, every show
Homer,
except for the ones Homer touches has a show prep meeting.
That guy. That guy does not do show prep.
We get grandfathered in. But what is great about what Jesse does is he behind the scenes, he puts together a show sheet that if for any reason we had trouble finding something to talk about, there's a bunch of different escape hatches, basically. Like, Jesse does a phenomenal job. It allows us to not have those meetings and allow, as I always have said, let Tausch be Tausch, because he's awesome at what he does, okay? So that all said, that is all a precursor, kind of like Jesse's setup
for
his story
Jason.
for Evan, is that Jesse didn't know what to do with himself last night because Gary was sending topics to him and ideas he had for the show. So Jesse,
I thought that's what he asked for.
It was, Gary. It's just uncharted territory. We haven't gotten a lot of that in recent time. I don't know how many of the 10 years. It used to happen more frequently. It doesn't happen as frequently these days. But yeah, we actually you sent ideas for things we could talk about over in our text chat. I'm like, holy smokes, I could go golf now if I want to tonight. Like, I got plenty of time. I don't need to do all this extra preparation to get things ready for the fellas tomorrow. This was amazing. So we have questions that Gary Ellerson sent over in our show preparation, which is weird, that we can discuss. So would you like me to pose these questions? Would you like Gary to pose?
I think you should pose them to Gary because I'm sure Gary has an opinion on them.
All right. Well, let's dive right into it. It's a little bit of a heavy topic, I think, but Gary wants to talk about it. Gary's got questions. James Pierce in the NFL got an 8-game suspension from the league for a similar situation to what Josh Jacobs has been going through this offseason. What does that mean for Josh Jacobs as we await word on his off-the-field issue from May? And is there enough with Marshawn Lloyd and Chris Brooks that the Packers would feel comfortable at running back if Josh Jacobs were to miss some time?
Let's go to the old running back first. Gary, what prompted you to ask this question, and how would you answer it before I do?
Well, that's a lot to unpack, isn't it? Well, first of all,
sure is. Yeah.
That James Pierce, I don't know if you go back and read the excerpts on that about what really occurred, and it felt like it was more egregious. I mean, I think he actually took his car and tried to ram it into hers on a couple of occasions, and then was not abiding by the law when they tried to arrest him. So I think there was a little scuffle there. So I don't think both of them are the same. And I don't know all what went into Josh Jacobs, but most certainly that didn't happen. So if that's going to be 8 games, I'm assuming if everything's being equal, Josh Jacobs' situation has to be much less than that. And on the other hand, it feels like the NFL this year are doing it differently, meaning that normally these things are a year away. They're getting this done before the season started. So to me, that's a bit unusual.
So I think the most important differentiator, and let's be clear here, this is not something that Josh Jacobs is going through. Like, there was a domestic incident that he was involved in. Now, the specifics of it and who did what and what was ultimately decided, we don't even know what's been ultimately decided, because the Brown County District Attorney's Office still has not decided one way or the other if there will be charges filed, and if so, what they are. Okay? So that, and I, as I've said many times on the show, the lawyers and cops that I know tell me that this is unusual, that it has gone on this long without a decision one way or the other. That is not typical. Now, I think it's important to point out, as Gary did, about James Pierce. He was arrested in February, and his ex-girlfriend, who is WNBA player Rakia Jackson. But here's the key differential here. Pierce was charged with 3 felony counts: aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, fleeing and eluding police, and resisting an officer with violence, okay? On top of that, he also faced a misdemeanor count of stalking. And here's the key difference as of right now. Josh Jacobs has not even been charged. He was charged with those 4 things, including 3 felonies. And he agreed to a 6-month pretrial intervention program in April, which would allow the charges to be dropped if he completes the conditions of the program. So, in layman's terms, because I'm not a lawyer like David Gruber is, he basically reached a plea agreement, right? And he enters this program, and if he completes the program, the charges are dropped. But he was charged. And as of right now, Josh Jacobs has not been. So, if he is charged, and let's say he enters some sort of diversionary program, I would be willing to bet he would get a suspension. The question that I have, and you and I can't answer this, Gary, is let's say the Brown County District Attorney says, upon reviewing all the evidence that we've collected over the last, whatever it's been now, 3 months, because it was Memorial Day weekend that this incident occurred, we've decided not to pursue charges against Josh Jacobs. My question then becomes, does he still get some sort of suspension? Or is the fact that he has not been charged enough to say, okay, we're not going to take any action as a league against him? I don't know the answer to that right now. I will say that the Packers certainly seem to be moving forward as if they don't expect charges, because otherwise, Gary, do you really want to rely on a guy who carried the ball 27 times all of last year in Chris Brooks, and a guy who's played in one game that counted in Marshawn Lloyd, no matter how much you like his potential? If they were legitimately worried about whether they're going to have Josh Jacobs for an extended period or be without him, don't you think they would have done something else at running back by now?
See, therein lies a rub, right? And that's why you're looking at what may come down is that the Packers haven't done anything to bring in a backup whatsoever. You would have
Right.
thought when they had a chance to maybe look at Kamara, maybe that would have been a little bit too much for him. But to get a proven veteran to bring in if something was going to go down, it feels like that they feel confident that he may be around. But if he doesn't, can the Packers hold up with Lord and Brooks? And to me, the jury's out on Lord. We're not sure if he can play 17 games. I think Brooks is good at what he does. I think if you take Brooks out of that situation, do you expose him to injury or do you expose him more in what he can't do? So it feels like the Packers, in one way, do not have themselves covered if something were to happen. But I will say this, Jason, the NFL in years past, you don't really have to be charged for them to suspend you.
Correct.
They have done that before.
Jesse, what's Gary's next question?
Next up, Gary sent over, again in our extensive show preparation last night, can Lucas Van Ness, Brenton Cox, and Barron Sorrell get it done in the pass rush until Micah Parsons returns? Again, what a great conversation question for us to dive into. Gary, what makes you think that this is worth discussing, and what do you think of your question that you posed to us?
Well, once again, the Packers didn't bring in anybody at that spot. So they got to feel confident that it's not just those three guys. There's going to be a couple other guys in there as well. But they got to feel, to me, that's their top three guys. They've got to feel from a rotational base, those three guys can get it done. From the first preseason game that we saw, and it's just preseason, Van Ness showed up, right? He gets a sack. Cox Jr. gets a sack. Oh, by the way, Jason, did you know Cox Jr. is my cousin?
What? No.
Yeah. His grandmother, how this goes now, his grandmother, Vanette, is my mom's first cousin.
Oh, is this like second cousin once removed type stuff that we always struggle with around here?
Yes. Yes. He's like my third cousin. Yes. Yeah.
Has he been to
his dad? Yeah.
Have you ever seen him at a wedding or
a barbecue,
a family reunion of any kind?
No, I have not. No, have not. But his grandmother, I know very well. She used to babysit me as a child.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Very well.
And by the way, I feel like he is an underrated option in that group. Your cousin. I think I like him as a player. Barron Sorrell got kicked out of practice yesterday for getting too close to the quarterback as well.
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, or at least he got kicked out of the drill. Maybe he didn't get kicked out of practice.
Offensive line should block him a little better.
Fair. Jordan Love's gotten a lot of pressure, and Matt LaFleur does not want his quarterback in danger, and he basically, Sorrell walked Belton into Love as he was throwing. There was another play where it looked like Love's arm got hit, and that is a big-time no-no. But I like Brenton Cox. Here, on the flip side of this question, Gary, is the fact that now Lucas Van Ness didn't practice yesterday. He played 3 snaps in the game. He was productive on the one. I think they actually credited that sack, and I think rightfully so when I looked back on it, to Zaire Franklin. Mm-hmm. But he's there too. Like if Franklin hadn't gotten him, LVN would have. Mm-hmm. But I'll say this, and I think it was Jim in the YouTube comments or someone. If Keisean's not there, the next guy that the villagers are coming for with torches and pitchforks is LVN, right? Because he's missed a fair amount of time.
100%.
Yep. Is that fair to be critical of him at this point and what they've gotten from him?
Well, yeah, because I think he was a first-round pick.
Exactly.
Relatively high.
Mm-hmm.
And look at the guys that went either behind him that are doing a little bit better than what he is. So I think his performance, he just got to be healthy. I think he's a really good football player. I think he just got to be healthy. And I think
so. You do like him.
About. And
you
once
like
again,
him
he's been in and now you change his position once again. I think they need to settle in on a position for him and say, this is what you do. Let's go.
All right. That we will get to part 2. It's kind of like Ask Gary Anything, but it's really Gary Asks Anything. Would that be more accurate?
But then we're turning
well,
it around.
Let me ask you this before we go. Do you feel like Jason? And I hate doing this comparison, but do you feel like if he was Nick Perry that you'd be happy with what he can contribute?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I haven't thought about Nick Perry in a long time, but Nick Perry has one of the most fascinating careers of a guy that I've covered, because he was a disappointment as a first-round pick. He didn't get the fifth-year option. He plays the last year of his deal, and he's got like 12 sacks. Like he is the king of coming through in a contract year. And then they give him the big contract, and then he goes back to being the guy he was before. And then, and this is the crazy part, the Packers release him, and that was it. He disappeared.
Yeah.
Like he never went to another team. He's like him and B.J. Raji.
So you only had 1 year double-digit sacks?
Yeah. What? Which is one more year than Rashawn Gary had. But yeah, and then he just he never went anywhere else, I don't think. Look, Lucas Van Ness, the old saying about he's the guy you want getting off the bus first. That's him. Like he is an impressive physical human being. But you nailed it. Like I don't think he's a bad football player. First of all, I don't think many guys that come out of Iowa are bad football players. Secondly, he's got to stay healthy, though, because it doesn't matter how good of a football player you are if you don't play football. And I think that's the reality with him. All right, we will continue with our...
No, you're right. He had 11. He had 11 sacks, and then the next year he had 7. Yeah.
And then that was it. Never to be heard from again. But look, again, expectations, first-round picks, that's how this works. Fair or unfair. Somebody mentioned A.J. Hawk earlier. I would argue that A.J. Hawk, the expectations came with being the 5th overall pick, right? Keisean Nixon ain't that. Yep. Keisean Nixon came into the league as an undrafted free agent. All right. I know that the folks that have listened to this, including me, have raved about it. If you are a Bucs fan, or in my case, covered this team, you are going to want to listen to the latest installment of the Behind the Bucs podcast on the Bucs Plus audio network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Light it up. Light it up. Light it up. Tim Thomas. Light it up. Light it up. That's my era. And it's narrated by Bucs broadcasting legend Jim Paschke. It's the oral history of the 2000-2001 Milwaukee Bucks, from their big three to a Hall of Fame coach. It's the story about a generational team that brought the city together and brought the Bradley Center to life. Find Behind the Bucs on Bucs.com/plus, the Bucs app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get your podcasts. Behind the Bucs, presented by Gallagher. More with Gary Ellerson, our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs, we believe in better. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust. Well, training camp practices and preseason games are great opportunities for the guys up in Green Bay to make sure they're fully ready for the regular season. If they didn't work on things now, there could be some big mistakes that happen in the regular season when the games count. Well, the same goes for car maintenance. Get your vehicle checked before you go on that long road trip or an issue comes up during an important, busy time in your life. And there's no better vehicle service team than the team I trust over at Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie. Get a tune-up, check the battery, check your tires, change the oil, make sure all the inner workings of your vehicle are in tip-top shape so you can focus on the fun of getting from place to place for whatever your next adventure holds and not allowing vehicle trouble to disrupt you. Schedule a service appointment, view vehicle inventory, and learn more about all they have to offer at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. That's ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Fix any issues before it counts. When it comes to your vehicle, take my word for it and trust the fantastic team at Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie. The name you can trust.
Hey, sports fans, the ESPN app has all of ESPN all in one place. The ESPN app is your home to thousands of live events, ESPN shows, and originals across every ESPN network in service. And now you can check if you already have ESPN Unlimited as part of your TV package for no additional cost. Visit activate.espn.com to learn how to access your account or sign up, then start streaming in the ESPN app. It's all of ESPN all in one place. Sign up or activate now.
Hi, it's Dave from Canopy Wealth Management. Many people are balancing retirement planning, college costs, and caring for aging parents, often all at once. With extensive experience, the Canopy team has helped others navigate these same challenges and can be a trusted thought partner as you prioritize what matters most. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's our promise. Get started today at canopy-wealth.com.
Paid for by Canopy Wealth Management. Canopy Wealth Management is registered as an investment advisor with the SEC.
Since 1956, Hallman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Hallman Lindsay has grown over the years to 27 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Hallman Lindsay has the paints you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Hallman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Looking to take your baseball game to the next level? GRB Academy's annual Top Prospect Camp is Sunday, October 11th, bringing together some of the best talent from across the Midwest. The camp is open to high school position players, pitchers, and catchers in the 2027 through 2030 graduating classes. Space is limited and registration closes once capacity is reached. Don't miss your chance to compete and showcase your skills among the best of the Midwest. Register today at grbacademy.com. That's grbacademy.com.
Every tailgate has one. One person who brings the grill. One person with the long games. One who's convinced this is the year. But everyone's favorite, the one who shows up with the carbless. Handcrafted premium cocktails with bold flavor, 0 carb, 0 sugar, just 100 calories, and gluten-free. No mixers, no mess. Just crack one open and enjoy. This football season, make Carbless the MVP of your cooler. Find your bliss at drinkcarbless.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut. I've been telling you for a while now how much I've loved Pizza Hut going back to the days when I was a kid participating in their legendary Book It program. Well, how's this for a throwback? Introducing Pizza Hut's Throwback Value Menu. Features their iconic personal pan pizza, just $3. And a medium one-topping original stuffed crust pizza for just $10. You asked for it, so they delivered. It's the Throwback Value Menu from Pizza Hut. Order on the Pizza Hut app or at pizzahut.com. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Wilde and Tausch rolls on with Gary Ellerson as our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs, we believe in better. Gary, and I don't want to forget to say this. You are welcome as a cousin sub anytime it fits your schedule. I love it when you fill in. You and I have known each other for a really long time. And yes, I did grow up on the south side of Milwaukee listening to you play in Badgers games, and I had to listen on the radio. Jim Irwin on the call. But we're really lucky to have you on our team, and I'm glad that I get you today in Tausch's absence. And I also love the fact that you came with ideas. I don't usually do that, only because my ideas tend to be ignored. because we end up going in a different direction.
Well,
Jesse,
now I know.
Well, no, this is great.
Yeah.
I love it. Jesse, what else did Gary bring to us today?
So just so we're clear, that means the entire show is typically my idea, just so we're all on the same page.
No, it's not, though. You know that's not the
don't
case.
send ideas, and Tausch doesn't send ideas. The whole thing's my idea.
Then Tausch shows up, and then there's ideas that start flowing that we weren't ready for. That's how it works.
Right.
Gary asked
Then it
something
goes.
Gary asked something on
Yes.
Twitter last night after the Brewers got a nice win on a Sunday afternoon against Tarek Skubal and the LA Dodgers. Yesterday was actually a huge Brewers game. I don't know if everybody realizes that. They won 3 of 4 in LA. It was the 7th and final game of the season series with the Dodgers, and it was tied 3-3 going into yesterday. So the winner yesterday, if the teams finish with identical records at the end of the season, and they're both division champions, the winner yesterday gets the head-to-head tiebreaker. Logan Henderson outduels Tarek Skubal on the mound. Brewers get the win 6-2. They win the season series with the Dodgers now by taking 3 of 4 in LA over the weekend. That was a huge game yesterday. It means Thursday night's comeback in the 9th was huge. Like, this was awesome and a great bounce back after things went south in San Diego earlier in the week. So Gary asked, because last year the Brewers swept the Dodgers in 6 games.
Indeed, they did.
And then the Dodgers returned the favor when it mattered most in October.
Indeed, they did.
So Gary asked a very simple question, which has a ton of replies on social media. What does this mean, winning 3 of 4 against the Dodgers?
What does it mean?
Are any of them suggesting he should host a program?
Be so direct.
From a television, from a blue-roofed building with custard, and saying that I don't know who Gary Ellerson is, but I like the way he thinks.
No one is saying that.
What does this mean?
That was about
What
me.
does it mean, Jason?
Yeah, what does it mean, Jason?
It's a great question, and Jesse Nelson, kudos to him again. He's getting a lot of props today. I did not realize how vital that game was in terms of that tiebreaker stuff. That said, my answer to Gary's question is nothing. Doesn't mean nothing. Unfortunately, right? It doesn't. It doesn't. Like, look, I will say this. In a 7-game series, if they can set the rotation where Miz pitches in 3 of them, right? I have hope. I have hope. And you got to have hope. And then you figure out a way to win a 4th, right? I mean, people forget this because everyone thinks that it's just a Dodgers coronation. But they went to 7 with the Blue Jays last year, and in Game 7, Jesse, correct me if I'm wrong, the Blue Jays were in position, as Tausch would say, for it to be Rap City, USA.
Blue Jays choked, yeah.
And them to win the title.
Blue Jays had him multiple times in Game 7 and didn't put him away. Mm-hmm.
So, that unfortunately, it's great that they won the season series, and it's great that they beat Skubal, but in the grand scheme of things, when we get to the postseason, it don't mean much. Was that the answer you're hoping for?
I was super happy. Yeah, it is, because I was super happy when it ended, and they took 3 out of 4, and then I sat there for a little bit, walked outside and had a cigar, and then got depressed. Because it was just great that they did it, but now what do they do when the playoff? We've seen this before. And I don't know. I just need the Brewers to do something different. I mean, and maybe now I sound like a bad fan because we're winning. You know, it's good to go to the ballpark. You're going to get your money's worth. Mm-hmm. I mean, but you're looking for that next, and that next thing for them is World Series. Just to get into the World Series. You're not even talking about win it, but to get to it. And it just feels like that they just don't have enough. Enough meaning bats. I think they need more bats. They need a guy that can get you a home run at any time to change the game, and they just don't have that.
Jesse, is that your biggest concern?
Jess? What does it mean?
The tiebreaker thing I thought was the biggest deal that came from yesterday's game, because now the Brewers are 2.5 up on the Braves. And 3
so
up.
What does the tiebreaker get you?
And 3 up, potentially staying out of the wild card round where it's a best 2 out of 3, which is the dumbest round of playoff sport, I can't stand the wild card round. Because you have one bad night, and the team that wins game one of that wins like 22 out of 24 series. It's like
you would agree it's better than when it was one game, right?
I preferred the one game because then all three division winners are rewarded the same by not having to play in it. Like, you didn't win your division, you have to play a one game to get in. I like that. I like that merit. When you still win your division, like the Brewers, Braves, and Dodgers are 3 of the 5 best teams in baseball this year.
Yep.
One of them is going to have to play in a best 2 out of 3 to stay in the playoffs to get to like the real playoffs. That sucks. So anything the Brewers can do to avoid having to play in that, like last year where they didn't have to go to that round, that is the ideal situation. So owning the head-to-head tiebreaker where in the event where the Brewers and Dodgers finish with the same record, and if they're tied for the second and third spots, the Brewers don't have to play in that round, that's massive to go to the NLDS and to make LA play in the best 2 out of 3. So LA is probably going to win it like they did last year because whoever the 6th seed is probably ain't going to beat them. But, I mean, right now looking at it, it could be the Cubs. It could be the Phillies. Like, those are good baseball teams that the Dodgers would have to beat 2 out of 3. And
those are good teams.
You have one bad night. You have one guy who's battling like Terang where he's just got a little thing going on where he's got to sit out for a couple of days. Like, that could be the difference between winning the World Series and not even playing in the NLDS. So I think that's massive that the Brewers won yesterday and own that tiebreaker. Does winning the season series against the Dodgers mean anything for how they'll stack up in October against them head-to-head? No, it does not. And the Brewers didn't have Terang in this series. The Dodgers, I don't think they played at full strength at any point in this series. They had different guys with scheduled days off and everything. So it's not reflective of the overall season and where everybody stands. We all know that from last year. But owning the tiebreaker is a big deal. And it was a big win.
I feel better. Okay, I feel better. Jess. Thank you.
There we go. You're welcome, Gary.
How many times in the history of this show has anyone said the phrase, "Thank you, Jesse, now I feel better"?
Yeah, thank you, Jesse. Yeah, I feel better.
You're welcome, guy. Yeah.
Now we better take first place because if the Cubs comes back and finish in first place, that's all for naught.
That is true. Now, another development yesterday. So the Brewers finished a stretch where they played 17 games in 17 days. When they started this stretch, they were 5.5 up on the Cubs in the NL Central. The Cubs have been one of the hottest teams in baseball. The Brewers' offense has been anemic, has been the most popular word to describe it in the last couple of weeks. Entering play today, the Brewers are 5 up on the Cubs.
After all that.
So 2.5 weeks, 17 consecutive days with a game without a day off with a bunch of ailments. They're signing guys no one's heard of, and they're starting at second base on this West Coast road trip. And they only lost half a game in the standings against the Cubs after all that.
Wow.
That's pretty great.
That is great. That's pretty great. As if that wasn't enough, Jesse Nelson, during our Gary Ellerson question-orama, Whoa Nelly will give us more of Jesse Nelson, and he'll do it next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tosher here. People ask, why did I join UW Credit Union? Well, let's break it down. Convenient local branches, easy to use mobile banking app, rewards checking with early payday, and that beautiful Bucky debit card. Also, they've been serving Wisconsin since 1931, which means they have local expertise that's actually local. So stop by a branch or visit uwcu.org to join today and become a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joseph Henningsen with Stoughton Health Ortho Team Clinic. I specialize in joint pain and joint pain surgery, specifically hip and knee replacement, including second-time surgery for hip and knee replacement.
Learn more at orthoteam.com. Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't believe in games. They never inflate pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. Buy direct through Pella, and one trusted team handles everything with Pella certified installers every step of the way. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Paul Hansen here, founder of Iron Jock. Worried about the heat this summer? Don't sweat it. Our gear is made for real life. Iron Jock apparel combines moisture wicking with superior cooling and advanced odor-fighting silver ion technology that eliminates 99.9% of odor causing bacteria, so you are fresh for whatever's next. Our focus is simple. Make apparel that performs hard no matter where you are or what you are doing. Visit us at ironjock.com to experience the difference.
Sports are changing. Faster, stronger, smarter. So should your beer. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, crisp and refreshing, no extra baggage, built for people who go hard. Still drinking the same old light beer? You're stuck. Flight is changing the game. Level up. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. Wisconsin, are you keeping up? DJ Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
Mike, what's one of the most important questions people should be asking about metal roofing?
It should be who's doing the installation. It takes focus, precision, and technical experience. We'll answer all your questions.
After all, we are masters of metal roofing.
I'm Mike.
And Mary Sweta. Enjoy the long-lasting architectural strength and beauty of a Sweta metal roof.
SWITA metalroofing.com.
Sweta Metal Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
Mark Tauscher here, and your seat at the table just got better at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Return to Hard Rock Casino Rockford's high-limit room, where the odds are in your favor. With enhanced game rules, including blackjack, where the dealer stands on soft 17, you'll enjoy better odds, faster play, and the kind of authentic high-limit action that sets Hard Rock Casino Rockford apart. Visit the high-limit room and rediscover your game on your terms, in your rhythm, and with your edge at Hard Rock Casino Rockford.
Football season is here, and ESPN Madison is your home for Badgers fans.
This Badgers team is going to go as far as Colton Joseph takes them.
Tune in all season long right here on the ESPN Wisconsin app and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
The YouTube commenters are clamoring for more Jesse Nelson. And so let's give it to him. Time now for Wonelli.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocco's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Wonelli
on Wilde and Tausch.
It's interesting. I saw different comments in the YouTube comments from what I could tell. You guys know who Ed Dodds is? Ed Dodds.
I know John Dodds, big Marquette guy, big fan of our show.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with Ed Dodds.
Not Nate Hobbs.
Don't know Ed, though.
Ed.
I know Nate Hobbs. By the way, I saw some people saying that Keisean Nixon had Nate Hobbs run interference for him after the playoff loss. That was not... Now, Keisean could have said, no, I can handle this, and told Nate to buzz off. But that was Nate Hobbs doing that as Nate Hobbs. That was not at Keisean's request. But it was really irritating, as you well know. I was very pissed off about that the next day. Ed Dodds.
Ed Dodds is the assistant general manager of the Indianapolis Colts. Why does he matter, you may ask? Well, I'll tell you. Ed Dodds was meeting with media members in Indianapolis on Sunday and said that Anthony Richardson, former first-round pick by the Colts, starting quarterback until he was benched last year in place of Daniel Jones, and then was hurt all year, and they brought... I can't believe the Phillip Rivers thing happened. Remember when that happened last year? Came out of retirement like 5 years later to play for the Colts. I forgot that even happened last year.
It's true.
So Anthony Richardson is still in Indianapolis. He had asked for a trade, and I thought, oh, that's it. I forgot he was still on the Colts. I thought maybe he was somewhere else. Tausch was an advocate that the Packers should bring Anthony Richardson and be the backup quarterback in Green Bay behind Jordan Love. Ed Dodds said that the Colts will prioritize quarterback depth and that Richardson will remain in Indianapolis for the foreseeable future.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I ask this for relevance because I am currently on the clock for a fantasy dynasty football league.
No.
And so I'm wondering if it's worth drafting Anthony Richardson with a late round pick so that I can have him as a potential starting quarterback in the not too distant future, or if you think his career will not mount to much in Indianapolis or elsewhere.
Gary?
Yeah, I pass on that one, buddy.
What?
He's not going to help you.
What kind of a question
you might
is
want to
that?
play the roller coaster.
I'm in this.
Yeah, I played the roller coaster with Pence and who's over there? Pence and who's the other quarterback from Miami? Went to Atlanta.
Tua.
Tua Tagovailoa. Yeah.
Tua.
Yeah.
I played the Pence Tua rotation, if that's what you want to do.
Okay. Well, I'm not.
It's good advice. Better than.
Little late for
Why
that.
would you?
No.
So
Late.
wait, you draft a guy that's not going to play unless somebody gets hurt.
It's a dynasty league, so we do
but
this
don't you want to
draft.
draft people that you want to
keep 'em.
because they're good
Right.
already?
Or like I have a couple of older
Right.
guys, so they're like, I got a couple of older quarter. Matthew Stafford is on the squad, so he's got a year, maybe one
You're
more
gonna
left.
replace Matthew Stafford
Yeah.
with Anthony
And,
Richardson?
if it works out longer term,
No.
Richardson's a pretty young guy. Like he might get
He's
another
not
start
even
somewhere
a
else.
starter.
Yet, that's why I'm asking. Do you think this is going to work out for him somewhere long term, or do you think he's going to be Malik Willis? Or actually, I'd want him to be Malik Willis. Who do I think he's going to be? Jacoby Brissett, where he's a constant mover and a backup, but he's never really going to be the guy anywhere.
He's the guy this year for the Cardinals.
Well, I took him too in a pick a couple of rounds ago. I actually
Thank God you're not in charge of our fantasy team
Well,
for the
this guy.
ESPN Wisconsin Fantasy
This guy.
Football League.
Dynasty League is a different philosophy, Jason. You wouldn't know this. You don't do the fantasy
It's true.
football.
That's
Dynasty,
fair.
you got to draft younger guys that are going to play themselves into starting roles long term. You're not doing this every year, so you got to find some value with these late round picks. And I was wondering if Anthony Richardson could pose some value instead of taking like Justin Fields is another one. Do I take him and think that he's going to start somewhere eventually, or is that going to just be nothing and he's done?
Are all of the current 32 theoretical starters, are they all off the board?
Yes.
So there are no... How many people are in this league?
There's 10, and there's like 20 rounds of it. There's a bunch of guys on bench. This league is kind of frustrating because there's also no clock on the draft round, but then everyone gets mad at you if you don't draft like immediately, and the group chat's like, oh, Jesse's on the show. It's going to be another 5 hours before he takes his pick. Like, yeah, that's why we don't have a clock on it. Like, what is the point of not having a clock if everyone's just going to be upset about not getting it done right away? Very frustrating.
So you're telling me that of all the quarterbacks that are currently employed in the NFL, your idea, it's kind of like that scene with Morgan Freeman and the guy that's going to blackmail Batman. So you think your boss is a vigilante, and you think your best idea is to blackmail this person? Good luck. This is a terrible idea. I can't believe you even considered it.
All right, Josh Wiley it is then.
So did you take Richardson or no?
I'm going to take Josh Wiley. It was him or Josh Wiley I was going to take. I thought, well, maybe some goal line situation.
Who is Josh Wiley?
Oh my God, Gary!
He's the number 2 tight end right now.
Green Bay right now.
Right, but you're talking about quarterbacks. Suddenly you spring a tight end on him.
This is the kind of situation we're in here.
Josh Wiley. Josh Wiley may throw more passes this season than Anthony Richardson if they run a trick play.
Josh Wiley, bro.
All right, this is. I'm going to put us out of our misery here. This has been the Anthony Richardson portion of the program. We will wrap things up with Gary Ellerson, our cousin sub of the day, who I would rather draft Gary Ellerson than Anthony Richardson to my fantasy team. It's Wilde and Tausch.
The Brewers have the best record in baseball.
Struck him out swinging. Mizorowski pumps a fist as he strikes out Ohtani, then Freeman.
Continue listening to the First Place Crew right here on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home of the Brewers.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut. I've been telling you for a while now how much I've loved Pizza Hut going back to the days when I was a kid participating in their legendary Book It program. Well, how's this for a throwback? Introducing Pizza Hut's Throwback Value Menu. Features their iconic personal pan pizza, just $3. And a medium one-topping original stuffed crust pizza for just $10. You asked for it, so they delivered. It's the Throwback Value Menu from Pizza Hut. Order on the Pizza Hut app or at pizzahut.com. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by the ESPN Wisconsin app. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. Available in the Apple and Android app stores. Download the ESPN Wisconsin app today. I asked Wisconsin head coach Luke Fickell about breaking up a small fight at practice on Friday, and he said those tussles are actually what make him feel better about this year's squad.
If we don't have conflict, then I do wonder, do we also have the discipline to be able to handle those moments and move on? And that's where I feel a lot better. I keep saying this, I feel better about where we are. There's a competitive spirit to that makes you feel better. There's a leadership part of that makes you feel better. And that's where we're in a different place. Guys are not going to allow the culture of acceptance in whatever it is that we're doing.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't play games. Just straightforward pricing, premium quality, and trusted Pella certified installation. Visit PellaWI.com today.
When you've been injured, you need a winning team on your side. Gruber Law Offices will fight for the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Life moves fast. Your car should move with it. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, they've got a vehicle and payment options that fit every stage of your journey. Just graduated? Start smart in a Chevy Trax. Stylish, efficient, and budget-friendly. Growing your family? The Equinox gives you the space and versatility you need. And when life gets even bigger, the Traverse or Tahoe is ready for it all. Kids, carpools, and road trips. Visit them today in Sun Prairie or online at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Zimbrick Chevrolet, the name you can trust.
A strong team makes all the difference, and Everlight Solar just expanded theirs. Everlight Solar now offers roofing and exterior services for homeowners dealing with storm damage. From the first call to the final repair, Everlight quickly handles everything under one roof. When your roof takes a hit, you've got a team behind you. Start today at everlightroofing.com. That's everlightroofing.com. Everlight, powering through any storm. A proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics.
Mark Tauscher here for Buckin' Honeys. Summer in Wisconsin is too good to spend indoors. And whether you're meeting the crew after work, grabbing dinner before the game, or just looking for a great patio spot, Buckin' Honeys has you covered. Their spacious patios are the perfect place to enjoy award-winning dishes, craft cocktails, and an easygoing atmosphere. Visit their locations in Sun Prairie, Monona, Waunakee, or Mount Horeb. Grab your people, find a spot on the patio, and make the most of summer at Buckin' Honeys. We'll see you there.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hey, it's Owen Dimple. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on social media for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview for the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
ESPN Madison is your home for Badgers fans.
I don't want to necessarily say that Wisconsin is going to beat Notre Dame on September 6th at Lambeau Field.
He's not saying.
Wisconsin can beat Notre Dame.
Tune in all season long right here on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
We're out of time. I already said how great it was to have Gary here as our cousin sub of the day. So, Gary, you get the last word. Make it meaningful.
My last word? You know, Homer does this always the last word thing. I never have a last word. Just bring me back whenever you need me. That will be my last word. Don't let this be my last show. Yeah, that's my last word. Don't let this be my last show.
All right. You've got it. That's it for us today. Thanks to Gary. Thanks to Evan Cohen. And thanks to you for coming along for the ride with us. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on the